Recording now.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Oddyssey session. But who, may you ask, is this? For surely this is not Kai. You are correct.
Snail, what the fuck?
It is the DM. I am Snail Comics, and now I have complete dominion over all of your souls.
This is a hostile takeover.
Yeah,
What do you
obviously.
want with my shoes?
I did
Mark,
make a
I
whole
have
game
tea!
based on that joke, so like I can't even be mad.
Uh-huh.
All right, so welcome to the Halloween special. Kai's not DMing this one. I am. Guess what, everybody? All your characters are dead. Start rolling up new stats.
Damn, alright.
God damn. Oh well.
Let's go.
All right, so as I mentioned, this is a Halloween special. It's all fun and hijinks. You guys, if you haven't already permanently deleted your character sheets, I guess you can just stick with those boring Oddyssey characters.
I refuse to kill Tidbit. You can't make me.
All right, well, I refuse to kill Tsugi, so honestly, fair. But now that I've gotten a good set of jokes along the way, would my players like to introduce themselves one after the other? Please mention your name, your character's name, and what Halloween costume they're in.
Hi, I'm Jay. I'm going to be playing Francesca Elizabeth Steinbeck, aka Frankie. I have about 40 million different jokes that I could have made, including, but not limited to, Frankenstein, sexy Indiana Jones, and herself, which would have been very, very funny. But
So all three, right?
Yeah. Shut up. But no, what we're going with, because we established that a version of The Wizard of Oz sort of exists in this universe. So what she's got going is a sort of a Glinda the Good Witch situation going on, with like big, poofy, sparkly pink dress, plastic wands, all that kind of stuff. She's having a very good time.
Oh, that's really cute. All right, same person, different person in the same room because Kai and Jay record together. What are you going at?
Hi, I am Kai. I am going to be playing as Dr. Tidbit Weird after just pulling an all-nighter because he's had some very important spells that he's needed to learn. AKA, he's level 10, everyone else is still level 3. We needed to find some way to nerf him. So he
only has level 3 spell slots available. All the others are just
Yeah, no,
gone.
he's got 1 second level spell and 2 first level spell and cantrip, and that's it. He is also not mechanically exhausted, but like
Emotionally
exhausted. And because he's not someone that really does Halloween, he doesn't have a costume as such. However, Dr. Boffin had a little headband with like pumpkin deedly boppers on the edge of one of so he's got little jack-o'-lanterns stuck, and so he's wearing this little headband with these bright orange jack-o'-lanterns bobbing about all over the place, and he has no say in this.
Has he just forgotten that he's wearing them?
I don't think so, but also Boffin made him promise that he wouldn't take it off.
Oh, cute.
He forgets about them, and then one of them like drifts into his vision.
Yeah, pretty much. He moves his head the slightest bit.
platonic
Forget about
relationship
them.
if I've ever heard one.
They do love each other very much.
All right, who's next in this Halloween of horror?
Hello, my name is Liz, and I will be playing Miss Foam Forcer, who has decided to take part in this wonderful tradition of Halloween where you obscure your shape to take the form of something else. So the best silhouette that she has decided to take is one of the most scariest animal in the animal kingdom, the horse. She does have a fondness for she does have a fondness for plants. So she did take the head of a horse topiary and put it upon herself, and now she is just shuffling around with a horse. And she has changed her feet so they're mostly hooves now.
Mostly.
Oh, the hooves. It's kind of a hooves out night.
Yeah.
Listen, she needed to let loose. Kind of a hooves out sort of night.
Yeah.
Why is he wearing socks in the hot tub? Those are his hooves, you bitch.
Amazing. And I'm Mark, and I'm playing Biff Hitley. Biff has dressed as a witch. She is wearing the exact same outfit she normally does, but her hat is pointed and she's got a little broom.
It's very little. Her hand is huge and the broom is very little. This is critical.
It's so cute.
Yep. All right, and that does leave the last person in our party. But wait, if I'm the dungeon master, how can I be playing a party member? Well, you'll see, my dear companion.
I have regrets in letting you DM this.
I don't. This is fantastic.
This is great.
You fool! However, it is important you know that Tsugi is wearing a slutty vampire outfit somehow while not revealing any more skin than his average outfit.
Skill in itself.
He's got the puffy shirt that like goes to somehow the exact place as the jacket, if not like covering a little bit more of like the neckline. He's got
like a cami on underneath.
Yeah, he's got like the poofy pants, he's got the vest, he's got the blood dribbling out of his lip. He clearly spent far too much time on his outfit, and it's very clear it is indeed supposed to not just be a vampire, but a slutty vampire.
Excellent.
Good. I wouldn't expect nothing less.
I hate this. It's great.
This makes me so happy.
I'd apologize, but
you're not sorry.
It's what Tsugi would do, so like, I'm not sorry.
No.
You have to play the character, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me ask, among you four, how has the night gone so far? Let me know how y'all are feeling, because I know Tidbit isn't into this, but Boffin really is.
Well,
and like,
should we establish what our characters are doing tonight?
ooh, go ahead.
Wait, I didn't establish what Boffin is dressed as.
Oh yeah, no, sell, share.
He's basically, because the thing is, he is round, so of course he's going to pick a costume that is also round, and he is just going as a pumpkin. He is just dressed up as a giant pumpkin.
Amazing.
It's probably magical, because that's the best way to make it actually fit on top of him completely. I think the Deedly Boppers that Tidbit has on were originally Boffins.
Oh, that's cute.
As we all know, Dr. Boffin is the most important character of the campaign.
Yeah.
Correct.
All the rest of the PCs need to get shoved aside because he is
it's
so...
fine.
Boffin's the protagonist, come on.
Yeah, valid.
I mean, with the finale of the last game, spoilers,
Yeah.
whatever.
We're not talking about the last game. This is specifically... You don't need to know what happened.
No, this is non-canon shenanigans. You can just dive into this wherever.
I could say whatever I want, and it's not canon, so...
Oh shit!
Oh
This
god.
just in. Biff just slaughtered Tsugi. His head is apart from his body. Oh my god, Biff, why?
So we're getting into the Halloween spirit already.
Biff was raised in the Feywild.
I'm having so much fun, and again,
Boffin
I'd
is
be
secretly a
sorry,
werewolf.
except I'm
Stop
not.
it! How long have we been recording now? Like, 10 minutes,
we're
and we haven't
recording.
actually started the game.
No,
Why
of
would
course
we?
Good
not.
for us.
Have you heard of the Oddyssey crew? Do you know us? Hey, Kai, I think there's an imposter next to you.
Yeah, Jay. What happened to you? You guys are meant to be distracting everyone for at least another 20 minutes to make up for the fact that you'll keep distracting me at the beginning of every single fucking game that I run. I say with so much
It's a
affection.
strong word for what we do.
Okay, but I will let you know the only rough outline that I am providing for what you guys have been doing is trick-or-treating has been involved. As everybody knows in Inkwell, trick-or-treating is not just for kids because the real world is stupid and Inkwell is better. So, You guys may have started with like a Halloween party. You guys may have decided that you just wanted to roam the streets and only a couple of you are trick-or-treating. The only thing you gotta know is somewhere in there's been a couple pieces of candy willingly taken from houses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Frankie really, really loves Halloween. Like, it is her second favorite holiday. So what she has done is put up a bunch of, like, little, pumpkin fairy lights and stuff in the little, the little steps leading down to the basement flat that she's renting at the moment. And she has just gone kind of bonkers with decorations and stuff. They're all sort of very much like that Frankie style of like, yes, this is still technically spiders and pumpkins, but also everything is pink.
So, like, pastel gothic.
Yeah,
That's
full
nice.
pastel goth. And she is doing the whole answering the door thing for most of the evening, because I don't know, she just prefers to do it that way before going out herself. So that's what she's doing.
All right, fair enough. How are my other fine players who I definitely won't murder doing this night?
I don't know, because I don't believe Miss Foam is that well educated, like, specifically about Halloween. So I think she is just using this opportunity to, absorb it, like, absorb the holiday as it is, which includes standing in the street, cars honking, she's not moving until she does move.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
What does-
obviously.
Snail, what does Sugi say to Miss Foam that is part of Halloween that is absolutely not part of the tradition?
Oh. I think, sadly, the thing that he says, just because you put me on the spot and I haven't had time to think about it, is the fact that he's wearing a slutty outfit is actually a tradition in the Ghiblian lands. So,
Amazing.
like, it's not that he wants to be a slutty vampire, he just wanted to
He
be a
has to
normal
be.
vampire. But in the Ghiblian Empire, that's how we do things. So if he happens to be romance, that's just part of Halloween.
Okay.
I was gonna say.
She wishes you strength and nods sagely. And then she went to the street and she stood there and the cars were honking. Then she left. She somehow broke into a student party and is now playing beer pong. And is somehow very good at it. I don't
Yes!
know why.
I was going to
Her
ask, is she
hands.
very good or very bad at it? Because there's no in between.
Yeah, she is extremely dexterous. Yeah, she stands on the table. Some people think that's cheating, but she's short. Just give her this. And then she went trick-or-treating once, got mistaken for a child, lectured the person at the door. She only got one piece of candy. Door slammed in her face, and then she turned around and went back to Frankie's apartment.
Yeah!
Amazing.
Because the thing is, if you've got Boffin in the party, he, while being human, absolutely fucking loves Halloween. He goes all in on any and all Toon holidays. So, like,
Yeah, totally.
he is the sort of person that, like, will buy and hand out full-size candy bars to any trick-or-treaters. So, like, realistically, if Miss Foam wanted a proper rundown of what Halloween is and how it worked, she could ask Boffin.
I
Oh,
really
no.
like
But also,
But also just the idea of her standing in the road for like a full 45 minutes
Yeah.
is so
You
funny.
can ask Boffin after she's done with
Yeah.
that.
all
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
here's
She
the-
goes back to Muffin.
Here's the tragic thing. Miss Foam started with Tsugi and then went
Yeah,
to Boffin,
yeah.
rather than the correct way, which was just circumventing Tsugi entirely
Yeah.
and letting him do his own bullshit.
Can we say that those two are also like hanging out at Frankie's place just because like it's a good place just to put more people in the same sort of situation? And again, Frankie loves this. She's having a lot of fun.
this is great.
Hey, Biff, I do see that role you got.
I just want to make a quick roll real quick. Biff is trick-or-treating hardcore. I rolled persuasion for her, just to see like how good she was at acquiring candy. It's a dirty 20.
Uh-huh.
So oh baby. We got the treats, baby.
God.
Biff is like so laden down with trick-or-treat candy, it's like a strain for her to carry it.
Yeah. We got
Not a
snackers.
strain for normal people. Not a
We got-
strain for other tunes. It's a strain for Biff.
I desperately need a moment where Biff needs to use both hands for a thing and just goes, Sugi, hold this, splat.
Amazing. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
she's got snackers. She's got biddles.
Yeah, how many can you go? Keep going.
Keep going,
you know,
okay, hang on.
him she's. You can't forget the him she's bar.
The Himshe's bar. We've got the
Candy peas,
words
maybe?
are hard.
Candy peas.
We got the dig dogs. We've got the spots.
We got the dorks.
have the what?
The dorks. It's the nerds.
No, it's the dorks.
Yeah, we got the dorks. Love the dorks. We have
Lock, you only have to continue this gag as long as you want, I swear.
We got
Yeah, so
funny
we
honeys.
take pity.
You gotta
We've
get some
got,
granny candy in there as well.
Granny candy.
Oh my god.
That's just universal in any
Yeah.
place.
We got the
It's
nebulous.
completely the same as our granny candy because that's just a universal truth among all universes.
Yeah, like with the weird little fruit wrappers and everything.
Oh yeah.
amazing.
They're
I
good
think that's
though, is
probably
the
pretty
thing.
good.
They're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
got marmalade toast.
Oh my god!
I was about to say, has the gag safely settled? And then Monk started again, and I was like, nope.
Okay, all right, I'm done.
May I suggest an inspiration point for that?
Please.
Oh, you may,
you kept
and
going.
it will be followed through. Biff, please start this adventure with one inspiration point.
Will
And
do. Thank you.
Use
I
it
do want
wisely.
everybody to know,
I won't.
if... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I did. Jay just said use it wisely, and I said I won't.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Very important. I do want everybody to know if you do not use an inspiration point in this game, that will immediately transfer to amount of candy that you receive at the end of the game. So
Nice.
just know, even if you don't use your inspiration points, it'll still be useful. And, you know, candy might translate to gold.
This is assuming that we
We'll see.
survive, of course.
Yeah, okay, because like,
Oh,
aren't we all
yeah,
gonna die?
yeah, assuming that I don't succeed in killing you all.
Yeah.
I mean, assuming I fail at saving you all from
Yeah.
some doom.
Nailed it. Got it. Snailed it.
Nailed it.
Okay, so have we safely gotten most everybody back to Frankie's apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine throughout the day it was like, you know, or the evening, people like kind of grouping together and then splitting up and then grouping together in a different group. But I do just like the image of Biff and Suki like trick or treating.
Oh
So
yeah,
I-
totally. And one thing I
While Miss
do.
Foam stands in the road.
Oh yeah, totally. Sugi's not helping Miss Foam. But one thing I do want to mention is Sugi does actually not hit on anybody when he's trick-or-treating, and he does do the whole trick-or-treating thing. It's just anytime he's not actively trick-or-treating, he's definitely posing as sluttily as possible.
Amazing.
It's like a switch. It goes on and off.
Good to know. Thank you for the
Trick-or-treating
information.
mode or slutty mode. There is no in-between.
There are two wolves inside of him.
One wants candy, one wants to be slutty, and maybe also get railed. But we'll get to that second part another time.
Debatable.
I'm having so much fun. I need you to understand. I know
I'm
it's
having
like
a great time.
25 minutes in and we haven't started the actual game part, but like, if you guys want, we can literally just keep running with this. Of course, as I keep doing this stuff, but like, what I'm saying is, don't worry about pulling back on hijinks. This game is meant for all the hijinks. I'm not going to be pressuring you on like plot points and stuff.
Yep.
It's like,
I
well, there
gotcha.
is no plot here. We kind of just go for the hell of it.
Oh yeah, totally. But you know, now that things have settled in, you guys are like, it's late enough that you guys are like doing a full check-in, and I mean, it's been a couple minutes.
How late is late for this
You
game?
know, like too late. Not too late, but
Okay,
too
it's just late.
Yeah,
You look at the
it's
clock
not,
and the
it's not
arrow
like,
points to 8. Or to late. Fuck.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's not like the witching hour. It's not like 1 a.m. It's just late.
Late
Not
o'clock.
it's like past dinner, but unless you're a child, it's not really past your bedtime. Is the best way that I can approximate. But you guys sort of did have that like about every hour you guys would all check in, and it's like sometimes people come in before the hour, sometimes people come in after the hour, but you guys are all just sort of settled in and waiting, and it's been like, 25 minutes, let's just say, as a theoretical, as we're 25 minutes in the session. And neither Dr. Boffin nor Tsugi have really checked in. And you don't... Well, maybe you sort of remember that Tsugi and Boffin went the same way this time. And, like,
That was my first
Tidbit,
question.
I'm sure that
Is
you
where
were
to
worried,
go.
but it did seem like Tsugi was flipped over to the trick-or-treat side, so you sort of were like, I'm sure it's fine, but, like...
Look, it's
Now they
Halloween.
haven't
He's
really
not
come
expecting anything to
back.
happen. Dr. Boffin doesn't get kidnapped that often.
Chill.
Amazing.
And when he's on
I
fire, it's usually
mean-
because he studied it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, now they haven't come back. It's just kind of... They didn't come back before the hour, and now it's 25 minutes after the hour, and Jane... How you feeling about that?
No, it's fine.
Biff is sitting on the floor sorting through candy.
Right, well, I get the feeling we should probably start arranging Tsugi's funeral, because I think that Jeremy may have talked his ears off.
Oh well,
Yep,
it's fine.
fair.
They're just gonna they're just going to miss the movies that I've got planned. Frankie has a lot of horror movies and stuff like that.
Does she have a schedule?
She definitely has a schedule. It is
And-
lined
they're
out in
25
glitter pen on ruled paper with little butterflies on it. And they are all stuff that is off-brand as like fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre situation. Like these are
Amazing.
really like cartoonishly hardcore movies. She thinks they're very funny.
Also, Frankie, you will notice that you guys are 25 minutes behind schedule.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like, if you want to be frustrated about that, feel free.
she's
because,
already
like,
she's already annoyed. So
Bloodbath
it's
3, it's bath time.
do we have? Can't we just start without him? You know, it's fine, right? It's not like they'll be fine. Yes.
I'm fairly sure they'll both pout at you if you do.
Well, that doesn't necessarily. I don't want to disappoint Jeremy though.
yeah, there's the thing. It's not just Sugi who's gone. We're literally he could have a night out on the town, and you guys would only check like 3 days later if he didn't come
Yeah,
back.
no one cares about Tsugi.
For
Also,
sure, yeah.
Dr. Boffin is the thing.
Like, oh, okay, fine. I'll just head out and just look for them, just very quickly to see if they're coming back down the street or anything. And she will just go out.
As
Poke
soon
her
as
head up and
Frankie opens the door, Miss Phone leaves it like a cat, and I don't think she's not allowed to go outside right now. So I think that's a bit of a concern
Why is she not allowed?
because she was standing in the street for 45 minutes blocking traffic.
The cops came and they did tell Frankie if she doesn't keep her weird horse inside for the rest of the evening, there would be charges filed. And you're not sure if charges are like, legal charges or just like they're going to
charge her with
you
an
for
actual
money.
horse.
Yeah, but like there is a concern there.
It's just like, no, wait, hang on, don't. She's gonna go chasing after you. I love the idea that the way that Ms. Foam is like, she's just sort of sliding along with like sort of like leaning slightly backwards as though she's sort of on wheels.
There's clip-clop noises happening, but you're not sure from where.
It's like, please, we only just sorted this.
As this very rigorous chase is going on, can Miss Foam do like some sort of check to try and either recall which way the two were going, or if she can track them with her horse senses?
Amazing.
Why don't both Ms. Foam and Frankie, so far, I'll get to everybody, but why don't you two, since you two started out, give me a perception check. We'll start with that, and then we'll continue on.
Ah, yes, the thing that Frankie is very good at.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, it's a 15. It's not bad.
A 15 is not bad. A 15 and a 6. Okay, here's how I think this goes. And don't worry, other party, I promise I will wrangle you guys in. I do have fun, even as I went pure hiking.
I want you to do this, and I want us to cut back to like a conversation that Biff and Tidbit are having.
Oh, very important. I do need to know how they have a
Please
conversation.
do this part first.
I've already got an idea for the conversation, so yeah, it's cool.
Okay, so I think the way that we resolve a 6 from Lizz and a 15 from Frankie, when oftentimes it's the other way around, is Ms. Foam, I do think that you are scuttling around and you do run headfirst into like a small pitched tent. And then Frankie, I think that you see Ms. Foam run into the small pitched tent, and then you look up at what the tent actually is, while Miss Foam is mildly contained by the fact that she's trying to continue to run into a but the tent is like encapsulating her, sort of. And from the tent, Miss Frankie, you can go ahead and see that it's called Finder of Lost Things. And
Amazing.
You hear a voice that says, "Oh, hello. You seem like you've lost something. Would you like to come into my tent and I can help you? The first reading is free."
How many am I going to need to try and find something?
Well, I'm not sure if you've read the sign up above, but I am very good at that specific sort of reading.
Well, not to quibble too much, mysterious voice, but just say that you are a finder, not that you are a quick finder or a necessarily detailed or good finder. But I understand you might want to work on your branding a little bit, darling. But I suppose so. As she's going to go in.
Oh, yeah, totally. After insulting the person who's going to do the reading. Naturally.
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 Hey, Ms. Foam, here's an interesting thing. You don't get to make a dex check, but you are swiped right into the tent as well.
Ooh.
Like swiped. Like a hand comes out, grabs you with a cartoonish squeak, and pulls you into the tent.
Okay,
But then the hand like comes back and grabs the topiary that isn't actually attached to you and swipes that as well. So you have not lost your costume.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
That's the most important part. I would like to pitch though. I was imagining like she was just continue walking into the tent and then somehow ripped through the tent.
Oh, very good!
Oh yeah, the moment that the rip happened is when the hand came out. They're like willing to leave you alone until you damage properly, and then you ripped it.
Excellent.
Oh, I'm having so much fun. Oh, and now we get to go back. Biff and Tidbit, conversation, go.
And, well, see, the third time was less of a kidnapping and more he wandered through the wrong door. It was this big kind of scientist convention, and, like, you know how when you're dealing with any sort of scientist or wizard scientist, you gotta have, like, the people who are there for the science and then the people that are there for the evil, and he kind of, yeah. That one, I think that one probably took the longest to get him back, solely because we didn't realise that he'd gone missing in the first place.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, in my experience with doors, I think it's best to just not have them. The next time you go and there's a door, maybe just get rid of it.
No, that is true. That's a good point. But what happens if something on the other side of the door comes through to this side that you didn't want on this side?
That's that thing's problem.
But if it makes it our problem?
Then when you solve it. Maybe if you found a way to, like, contain it or something.
I think that was what the door was for.
She, like, stops and thinks about, like, you can see, like, maybe there's one gear turning.
Just like a little pinwheel in there.
Yeah.
While you see the thought bubble above Biff's mind, which is not two gears turning together in thinking, it's one gear just
More like she's buffering.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. You hear a bong, 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 and you guys look over, and
I
the
thought we left
clock
that
on
college party.
I missed that. Why is everyone? I missed that. Sorry.
Say that very clearly one more time. Everybody, shut up.
Oh, Mark! We lost you. We lost you.
Hi.
No, that was on purpose. I know you.
Me?
Say it again.
What?
Say it again.
Oh, you were all very quiet?
We went quiet because we wanted you to say the joke again.
Jay missed
Oh, I
the
didn't
joke.
know you wanted to say it again. I thought I cut out.
No.
I just said, oh, I thought we left that college party.
That was not worth it.
It was. It was, and you know it.
Go on, go on,
Anyway.
carry on. There were 3 bongs.
Big party.
And Tidbit and Biff both look to the clock on Frankie's wall and see that it has gone from late to later.
Ooh.
And none of your friends have come back.
Oh, it's gonna be very late very soon. What were we meant to do? Do you know where Frankie keeps the remote? I guess.
God, we're just gonna start the fucking movies. No.
Of course not.
Oh well.
Does Frankie look like she's the kind of person who trusts anybody else with the remote? It's not.
She probably took it with
It's
her.
not in general view. It is hidden specifically from guests.
For this reason.
probably-
Yeah,
Probably took
for
it
this
with her.
exact reason.
Amazing. Yeah, I don't know. I think at that point then Biff is just gonna, like, she walk up to the front door. She will open the door. Don't worry, Frankie.
Uh-huh.
She understands this has some kind of sentimental value to you.
Thank you for being so respectful.
And she is just going to shout at the top of her lungs, just like,
God.
Sugi! Frankie! Let's follow Dr. Buffett! Where are you guys?
That's when car alarms just start going off.
Yeah. You see the birds scatter. You hear a
She got
cat
big lungs.
somewhere in the distance.
Tidbit walks into frame, just like sticking a finger in his ear and waggling that about.
So why don't you two roll me some perception checks?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're gone.
Well, if they're anywhere nearby, they definitely would have heard that. That's a 17 from...
Ooh, and a
The
19.
from Biff.
Nice.
Did
Let's
Biff
go,
just
let's go.
echolocate the missing
I
party?
think so.
So what I think happens is I do think I'm going to say that these scenes went on concurrently just because it makes it easy for me.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
do think that you see like Frankie's tail entering the tent, and then you also do see Ms. Foam getting like ham-fisted into the tent after she tore it, to be fair. But you guys also do clearly see the tent and see that at least most of the party is there. Although, it is weird that Sugi and Dr. Boffin haven't replied.
I like the idea that the cat that we heard was Frankie.
Yeah, no, correct. She just fucking jumped. Like.
Hey, I do need you to make the cat sound.
How's that?
That's alright.
Perfect,
quiet.
wonderful,
Very good.
delightful. I love you. I could not
Discord, like,
adore you
barely
anymore.
picked it up. I love it.
I think Tidbit's just got to look at the tent and go, Miss Hitley, I believe we are getting pulled into various Halloween shenanigans. This is why I don't do holidays.
Genre savvy scientist.
Oh, it's not going to be that bad. Come on. Like, she does give him a reassuring pat on the back.
Tidbit
Just
goes
send him
stumbling
flying.
forwards.
Yeah, he goes. Oh,
Diddly
you're
Bopper's
eager.
going wild.
All right, let's go. As he like falls down the stairs.
Yeah, pretty much.
I warned you about the stairs, bro.
Don't you dare.
Don't you quote the ancient scripts at me. I were there when they were written.
Yeah, they go.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we'll walk into this trap. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We walk into this trap.
Again, genre
I
savvy.
mean,
they have
trap
no choice.
is a very strong word.
It's a fucking trap.
I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway,
it's a tent.
yeah, it can't be a trap. It's a tent. I know they both start with T, but there's no reason to get so confused here.
Consider, it could be a tent trap or a trap tent.
Anyway, Frankie, you notice that, like, when you come into the tent, there is a pause. The whole tent is darkened. So, like, the back is obscured, but you do still see on your side, you see there are, oh, look, 4 seats. That's nice. And you see that Miss Foam is already in one of the seats. And you sort of sit down, but then there's another pause. Just long enough for Tidbit and Biff to walk in, and then they both sit down, and then swoosh, candles light up. There's a little, like, sparkling display, and you see, very important, you see a black and white tune. Interestingly, this tune is not grayscale black and white. They are blacks and whites. They have white long hair. They have dark black skin that's portrayed very respectfully. I do not want anybody to go, this is going to be a racist caricature. This is a gorgeous woman.
Amazing.
She's wearing white but very Halloween-y classic robes with, like, the little arches on the sleeves that, like, puddles onto the floor. She's got the crystal ball and she's waving her arms over it, and she's like, hello. Once again, now that we have new visitors, I've heard that you 4 are missing something. To someone, perhaps?
How did you know that?
This is what I do, my dear. You could say it's what I live for. And she winks. And slowly she moves the crystal ball, and she says, if you would like, I can give you a very, simple rule of 3 drawing. And she flicks cards between her 2 hands and says, that should lead you directly to the 2 that you are missing.
I don't suppose that might be because you are the person, or at least involved with the person, that made them go missing in the first place?
Missing is a very strong word for my involvement. They were quite excited to go. I just want to make sure that you can return them.
Of course.
And she looks at you like, yeah, I know you're onto this bullshit, but it's Halloween, fuck you.
Yep.
Well, you don't have like any paper or anything. How are you gonna do a drawing?
It's cards, dear. You know, like tarot, I presume?
Very like tarot. Technically terracotta, but is that how you pronounce
Stop cursing at us.
Tadoka.
Tadoka? Okay. That was my mispronunciation, not the cards woman, because she would know exactly how to pronounce it. And she says, if all of you would just place a single finger on the cards. She, like, flicks her wrist out. The cards, like, do that stacking thing all the way out so that there's a single row that reaches right to where it's comfortable for each one of you to touch a card. And she says, we can begin.
Ooh, me first. Frankie has
Biff touches a
immediately
card,
forgotten.
Her finger covers it entirely. Sorry, we both talked at the same time. You go first.
No, Frankie has immediately either forgotten or decided to ignore that this is very clearly a a very trap-like situation. She is excited because there are now magic tricks and cool things to mess around with. So it's me first, and she just immediately picks one.
Okay, excellent. I was gonna say Biff also immediately puts her finger on a card. It covers the card entirely.
And you two.
Looks a tidbit.
Tidbit's like looking right back at me. Like, I'm guessing neither of them feel like playing along with this.
I mean, if Tidbit isn't going to make a mood, because rightfully so cautious, Miss Foam is going to be a little bitch and put two fingers on the cards.
Two from the same hand or two from different hands?
Two from the same hand, but she's gonna look at this wonderful lady and see her reaction.
Oh, I see we have a trickster on our hands. The card slipped back into her hand and she says, and someone who hates Halloween. No worries, my dear. She starts flicking the cards to start shuffling them in her hands. No.
Wait, was that including the cards that Biff and Frankie were touching?
Yes, all the cards slipped in her hand, even the ones that were being held.
Zoom.
Card tricks, man. Definitely not magic. Definitely not.
I mean, to be fair, Tidbit is very much debating using up one of his very limited spell slots on detect magic here.
No, come on, we know it's magic.
Hey, listen, he could be
Or
ritual
is it?
casting it.
Oh my god, Tidbit in the background for 10 minutes as this goes on, ritual casting.
Yeah. Okay, continue, please.
Okay, so we see her do a couple of card tricks. I described them, but I don't actually know many impressive card tricks. But they're impressive. And then you see her one card out, one card out, one card out. And you see that on the back of the cards, there is one card that has iconic, meaning church glass, iconography, not iconic, I don't know, Hello Kitty.
Amazing.
You see a stained glass portrayal of Frankie. She is summoning something from the ground, and she looks very very pleased. Another flip, and you see, just for fun, you see an iconic Biff, as in Biff in a Hello Kitty style, because I accidentally made the joke. There's nothing to do but follow through on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
you see Flip with another card, and you see a picture of Miss Foam with 2 fingers on the card looking directly at the camera.
Horrifying.
Like
You're
a
welcome.
photograph.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. And she puts the cards that are not used directly beneath her and says, "All right, my dears, let the reading begin." She touches the first card, the icon, I've forgotten how to say it, the Frankie card.
Yes.
And she says, "This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your circumstances." And she flips the card over, and the card drops off the table, and she's like, interesting.
I'm sure that's a good
pulls
omen.
The card back.
Mm-hmm.
She pulls the card back up, and she's like, interesting. This was not a card I expected, but still a card that can happen.
Do I get to
she
see
places-
it?
Yes. She then places it down. It just fell off the table.
Oh yeah, no,
You know
Frankie
that-
Frankie it just is impatient.
Oh yeah, totally. But also, the card, everybody knows that drop cards have significance.
Yeah.
And you see a Queen of Hearts, and she says, "I see a kind young man, a mother's boy. He seems to be strong of mind, but weak in body. Seek him out in the village of Quirovia. He could be handy." And she moves to the next card, this one being the Hello Kitty stylized Biff,
Yes.
and she flips it over. And you see the 2 of stars, also known as the 2 of clubs. And she says, "Look to the one who sees it all. The treasure could be right under my very nose." And then she looks down, and where the cards were, you see a bowl of candy. And she's like, "Well, no reason not to share," and offers 1 piece of candy to each of you.
Take the candy, definitely.
Oh yeah, we take a piece of candy. Hell
Frankie's
yeah,
loving
hell yeah,
this,
hell
by
yeah.
the way. She's having such a good
Yeah,
time.
Biff like kind of bounces up and down and like claps her hands a little bit. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's a good one."
Thank you, my dear. It is one of my favorites. And then she's like, give me 1 moment, as she's looking at the Frankie card. And she's like, "This one is obstinate. I wonder why."
I couldn't
And
imagine.
then she places it down. It's the Jack of Diamonds. And she says, "The beast sits upon a dark throne within an audience hall." And she's like, "Remember these 3, and you will have no problem finding your friends and coming out hale and whole on the other side. And who knows, maybe with some treats to the bargain." So really quick, I'm gonna transcribe
Yeah,
what was
please.
written so
Thank
that
you.
yeah, of course. Give me 1 second. Make up some very funny gags while I remember how I wanna
It's like, I'm
do
writing
this.
down, be funny.
I think I do just want like a little background moment of when they're all taking candy. Tidbit would obviously be the last one to take it, just because. All right, fine. He's going along with this. This is again genre savvy. He's fine. And I think he kind of like reaches his hand in, just picks one out without looking, looks and like pulls out humbug and tosses it over his shoulder.
God.
See, Kai can be funny on command. This is what we all aspire to.
Miss Foam goes and gets the candy that was thrown over the shoulder, because that's the point of this holiday, right? You're supposed to get candy.
Yeah.
I will now put 2 candy on her character sheet.
Yep. Excellent.
I'm
I have
tracking
it
that.
written down as psychic's candy.
Excellent.
Very good.
Frankie's going to want. Frankie's the card with her picture on it. She, by the way, she's going to sort of just sort of tap it with like fingers, like, can I keep this?
If you'd like to make the enchantment permanent, all you should need to do is see me after you've finished your adventure, let's say. It seems like a fair bargain.
All right, have something to come back for.
And she's like, yes, indeed.
She's just sort of like, Frankie's just got the card and just sort of admiring it.
Amazing.
Miss
Frankie,
Fern
I
was
love
just,
you.
Yeah, Frankie, you're very good. Miss Fern has just been squinting at this lady this entire time, which is, not that much of a character design change. She always has these pointy eyes.
Even more pointy.
Yeah.
And now even further.
It's now this is just Ms. Foam in a bad mood.
Oh yeah, totally. I think I've got it all transcribed for everybody who's purely in the audience of audio. I will go ahead and repeat the Grimoire place.
Grimoire.
You know, I say things wrong. It was not the lady. In the Grimoire position, which was again Frankie, there is an innocent boy, weak of body, might be handy. In the Moonsword position, which was Biff, the treasure was right under the diviner's nose. It sure seems like if you can bring more treasure, bribe, of candy, things will go quickly and easily. And the beast sits upon the throne within the audience hall.
Question is like is the grimoire card that's being referred to, is that just thing, the little disembodied hand? Considering we're going Adam's family here.
Shut up! I didn't get that. I'm so mad.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, okay, so this is Thing, Pugsley, and I've forgotten his name. My brain's just gone dead. Sorry, this is like my 5th consecutive hour of D&D so far today.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, don't worry. This is pure shenanigans. Just to be nice, I will admit.
Gomez.
There we go.
I will admit, I did not think this through so deeply that all 3 of them are related. It's only the grimoire that is directly related. The other ones are more literal.
Amazing.
That's fair. I was gonna say, you could have just not said anything and quickly changed your plans.
Yeah, but
I like being honest, especially when I have tired
no,
players.
that's fair. That's fair.
Also, I just personally, my take on the third one is that the beast sits upon the throne within the audience. So isn't that just what Ms. Foam was doing?
Yeah.
In
I was also
chair,
thinking of that.
it seems, and her picture was just her staring at the fucking camera.
The throne is the road, and the the throne is the road, and the audience is the cars honking at her.
Amazing.
Very good.
God damn it, you guys. You're so funny, and I am so slow.
No, you're not.
So valid,
okay.
Snail.
Literally, all I'm doing is running with the little plan that I have so
It's
that you can have
okay.
fun little shenanigans.
No,
and
you're
here
doing
you are
the hardest
creating
part.
really good plot elements, and I'm like,
You're doing the hardest part. Thank you for your service.
Yes, Snail, you are providing us the opportunity to make all these terrible, terrible jokes.
Yeah.
like literally, if I had the ability to keep up, I would go ahead and keep doing that. But that also might make this game into a multi-shot, which, as much as I love you guys, I would like to avoid.
Yeah.
So we're just staying with the goofiest hijinksist. And the cards swish back into the diviner's hand, with the exception of the Frankie card. And she, moves that one so it's out of the positioning among the Takakra?
Now I forgot how to pronounce it. Taroka. No,
Okay.
it's fine. I was like, my brain blanked. I was like, oh shit.
You're so fine. I don't even know how to say it. You're so much better than me. It's moved out of the Taroka position, but it is kept on the table. So, whatever spell is making it so that it's special is remaining. She even flips it over to prove that it's still Frankie on the other end, rather than just like, you know, haha, the spell was already
It's a
broken.
regular card. It's like, oh, thank you, dear.
And she's like, I believe if you go out, you will find the realm of where your friends are, and if you follow the cards, you'll find them exactly.
Yeah, Frankie looks like she's having an excellent time, so she just sort of immediately gets up and was like, alright, everybody, treasure hunt! And she's just gonna, like, head out.
Alright, everybody, welcome to the realm of Queerovia!
Don't get it!
Okay, so the in the Curse of Strahd, the original place is called Barovia.
Oh! Okay,
And
no,
like
yes.
the thing
But
with vampires is they come from Transylvania.
Amazing.
There was an R in
That's very
both.
good.
Like, we're all queer here, so
Queerovia.
why the fuck not?
I will tell you, I don't know shit about Curse of Strahd, so if you make any really good puns or jokes, just tell them
Yeah,
to me, and I will
please.
be happy to appreciate them, but I won't be able to do it on my own.
You're so valid. The only other joke that I've made so far is the card thing that I just set up for you guys. All of the cards literally do translate to the Curse of Strahd. It literally starts with a card reading. And I
Amazing.
made sure to go through all of the cards to make sure that they would all technically sort of fit the
Good.
cards that are actually used in the Curse of Strahd.
We
Excellent.
appreciate the hard work that you have put into this, Snail,
really
even though
do.
none of us could properly appreciate it, because I don't think we've played the game.
I am just so excited for someday, I pray, someone who's actually, like, really gotten deep into Strahd to just come into my inbox and cuss me out for everything
sure they
that I've
will.
done. If that's you, dear listener, I'm expecting it and I love you.
I mean, I just want to say, with the way that Curse of Strahd works, I could theoretically stick it into the Odyssey at some point if you really want me to. But as it
Listen,
is,
I want to be clear, this is not a request. This is purely a gag mission.
yeah.
So if it fits, feel free. But if it doesn't fit, don't feel the need to, like, incorporate that in. I'm sure we'll have plenty of plot to get
Oh
through.
god, yeah. Oh god, there's a lot. Anyway, on with this.
So, as you guys look out, I will go ahead and just give to both Tidbit and Frankie. This is not the plane of Inkwell.
Ooh.
Once again, welcome to the plane of Queerovia. You're no longer in Kansas.
Tidbit's just massive. All right, what now?
Oh, come on, it'll be fun. Well, our first clue was an innocent boy. Weak of body might be handy. All right then. I'm going to roll the perception check once again with a -2. That's a 5.
I will go ahead and mention,
Amazing.
specifically for this adventure, if at any time you do not want to roll perception, I will give you bonus on another roll. But that simply means that your character will not have anything more than their passive perception for whatever it is.
I mean,
So you can, like, give up the ability to be part of the initial exploration for an advantage on a different roll. Just because I like to be fun and crazy.
honestly,
Bad.
I might get more detail just using my passive perception than actually rolling.
Yeah, but you already looked around, so I'm afraid you have to stick with that side.
yeah.
May this fucking
7.
roll.
Doing real good.
Oh, we're
Real-
doing so amazing.
Real good.
Tidbit with a 6.
Awesome. Don't you worry. There's nothing particularly huge that you've missed.
Oh, good.
I will go ahead and say, first of all, Ms. Foam is the only one to notice. The tent of Lost and Found, gone. Completely gone. You all 4 exited. Ms. Foam turns around. It's as if it was never there. So, that'll be fun to deal with later. But the rest of you, because you all got an 11 or under. You see a village. It looks like there's about 8 buildings in the village. It's not a huge one. Let me see.
Oh, we
sorry.
didn't hit up any of these houses yet. Let's go, guys.
Very good,
Candy,
Biff.
go feel candy.
I'm sorry, I miscounted. There are 7 buildings around. As you sort of look around, I'm gonna say with how low your perceptions roll, you don't particularly notice what kinds of buildings each building is. There's just like 7 buildings. You guys want to get candy?
Biff sees 7 buildings that she has not trick-or-treated at yet.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, well, that was where we were supposed to go, so onwards. Pointing her plastic wand ahead, as I'm assuming that Biff has already just
Biff is
started
starting
off
to
like,
walk.
yeah.
She's not running, but she's moving.
Yeah. It's moving.
You know, as you move. All right, give me 1 second while I flick back to where we need to be for, the rest of the adventure.
All good, all good.
Why are there so many pages before the pages that I need? Why is the book not accommodating my needs?
Video game loading screen.
Yeah, we get to the end of the environment and then we get a loading screen.
What's the tooltip? What's the tooltip, Snail? What's the neat tooltip we need to know as we go into this new environment?
I reckon the tooltip was probably the stuff about the passive perception.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah, you see... Yeah, you know what? Actually, the tooltip is you can give up on doing a perception roll in exchange for getting advantage in a later roll, but then it will only use your passive.
Okay.
I love that we're apparently in a video game now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how this works.
And also in the corner of the screen, there's a little model and it's turning around 360 degrees, and it looks like this.
Yeah.
What?
It's Hello Kitty style.
Yes! Hello Kitty! Biff is the 3D model! I have never been happier. Mock, I adore you so much.
Oh, that's
Liz,
so
I adore you so
good.
much. Kai, I adore you so much. Jay, I adore you so much. But Mock, I adore you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
It's so cute. Oh my god, I'm actually gonna have to edit this before I send it over to Kai because we gotta have the art.
You get a link. You get a link.
Oh man, that means I'm gonna have to draw a slutty Tsugi.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
You know
sorry,
what?
That's
like
Just
Snail.
make a Google Doc with all the images in them and link to the Google Doc.
Yeah,
And just be
Oh,
like,
that's so much smarter.
I
scroll
mean,
down as you listen.
Again, I just link all the stuff in the description below the videos, so it's cool. Don't worry. People will see
Okay.
it.
So I will go ahead and say you guys don't specifically notice what each building is, but I will give you the shortest description I can because you guys rolled really low of each of the 7 buildings. The first building,
The textures are loading in.
Yes, the textures are still loading in. Sorry, I'm slow.
all
The
good.
first building looks sort of like a shop. It's got a thatched roof. There are bricks for the walls. Nothing in this town looks particularly rich. It seems like it's a very common town. The next building sort of has pillars and the door is a little fancier. It's like those old west doors that blow in and blow out. It's probably a place to drink if you had to guess.
Okay.
The next building over is made entirely of wooden boards. It's a house. It's a house.
It's a house.
The building after that also has the pillars. You get the idea that pillars are a sign of status in this place because this one is also a house, but it specifically has the pillars. There's stone rather than just brick as part of it walls. Seems pretty fancy smanchy. Fancy
Schmancy.
Schmancy.
Yeah. The next one one over is probably a church. Like, it's just got that vibe, you know? Like, hoity-toity. You know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly.
And... let me see.
There should be 2 more
Yes.
by my count.
After that, right next to the church, which you've probably confirmed as a church because right next to that is a cemetery.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Cool.
And then after that, there's, you know, another house. Surely nothing bad could happen at that house. It's just a house.
Okay, deeply important question, because I did kind of break the rules a little bit when specifically Doctors Boffin and Weird applied some teleportation magic to Glorp's shop door.
Oh my
Is
God.
there another door tucked away on a wall somewhere that technically leads to Glorp's?
Amazing. Are they teleporting within the same plane of existence, or does is Glorp multiplanar?
That's a good fucking question. I never
Multiplanar
actually decided, but I think
friend.
multiplanar access to Glorp's is funnier.
Yep.
So here's the thing. That door, if it existed, would depend entirely upon you guys deciding to spend money at Glorp's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
well, I don't
here's-
have any
here's-
money,
hang on,
so-
hang on. Before you start deciding that means it's not there. Once again, this game is an AU. So if you guys wanted to spend AU gold on an item that will only exist for this game from Glorp's shop, maybe the door's around.
Now, I'm gonna ruin everything by going, Glorp shop is still technically closed for restock. I just want to ask if the door's there.
my God.
Here's the thing. You don't know when in the timeline this was.
True.
I do promise, first of all, breaking character. Kai, I will not make you roleplay Glorps. But there is someone else at Glorps.
Shit. Oh, shit.
Is Suki there robbing the place?
Oh no, it's someone else who's much more beloved. So let me first go ahead and just ask. Do you guys want to explore that avenue? Or do you guys just want to go, we don't want to bother with looking at items?
I think items would take, here's the thing, that would be, you know, sensible if we were trying to play optimally. Consider, I want to go on the hunt for a small hand, because you've introduced the concept of the Addams family to me now, and I want to find a hand.
Yeah, I will say, it would probably take us a while.
Yeah,
We've
the
been
other thing
going
is
at this already for like
an hour.
hour?
Yeah. So, as fun as it would
Alright.
be, I just wanted to know, basically. I did not actually plan to do anything with that question.
You're totally good. All I'll say is you did roll really bad on perception, so
Yep.
you
Thing
can't
could really
prove-
be here.
You can't prove it isn't here.
Yep, that is true.
And we'll just take a nod at that.
Yep, that's perfect.
Schrodinger's
Yes,
Glorp.
we have just established that Glorp is multiplanar. However, we can neither confirm nor deny that Glorp is here specifically.
Yep, especially as this is a
Glorp is
non-canon
both
game
here
anyway,
and-
so.
Glorp is both here and not here.
Schrodinger's
Until
Glorp.
observed.
Until the door is opened.
Yeah, until the...
Schrodinger's Glorp!
Schrodinger's Glorp.
Oh my goodness. I'm so happy. Okay.
Schrodinger's friend.
So I have described seven different areas for you guys to start at. Which do you wish to go to? And if you just want to say the closest to the tent, I can take that instruction too.
Cemetery! Children love to hang out in
But if there's
that's where
cemeteries,
another
Biff is
right?
place that
going.
interests you more, you can go ahead and say that.
I mean, yeah, just gonna go to the nearest shop as well. Oh, not shop, nearest building as well.
I think the shop is the nearest if we're going in the order that Snail
Yeah.
introduced them in.
Mm.
I have them numbered now.
Very good. So you come into the shop. You see that there is a tall, blonde-haired man who is sort of wiping down a counter. It's not a bar, but because you can see like swords and pikes and priest kits and herbalism kits. Congratulations, you have confirmed this is a shop.
Hurrah!
Nice.
And the man at the counter sort of like looks up at you, lot, and says, "Ah, adventurers, huh? Looking for candy, huh?"
Biff holds out like a pillow sack.
Aww.
And you sort of see the person just sort of like look at you guys and go, "Yeah, all right. If I try to stiff them, they'll probably beat me up."
Yeah.
Candy,
You're not
2
wrong.
piece of candy, 3 piece of candy, 4 pieces of candy. And he
Oh,
sort of just
fantastic.
like leans
Good.
back on the wall and says, "All right. Anything else?"
We
He's
are...
not expecting a sale from you guys, basically.
No.
Oh, rip. Have you seen 2 individuals walk in here? One black and a grayscale and blue, and dressed as a traditional.
Yep.
Give me a fucking second.
Everyone laugh now.
We're gonna murder Liz.
Okay. Traditional
Traditional
Ghibli vampire wear, dressed in a slutty manner, and a pumpkin. Real kind.
A real kind pumpkin.
Miss Fong, I think we
hell.
may have to have a conversation about accepting anything that Sugi says at face value.
What?
Never mind,
And
afterwards.
interrupting this delightful conversation, the shopkeeper says, "I can't say that I've seen him, but if there's somebody new, odds are good that they went up there." And he points out the window of his shop, and in a sudden crash of lightning,
Nice.
you see a completely encased in shadow castle upon a hill that leads directly to the village.
Nice.
Excellent.
So this is not one of the other houses.
This is not one of the other houses. You are
There's 7
correct.
houses and a castle.
Yes.
On a
Nice.
hill.
Which might contain, an audience chamber. Because it's a castle rather than a house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also, have you seen, Frankie sort of flips open her notebook, have you seen an innocent boy, weak of body, who might be handy?
You sort of see the person twitch. Roll insight.
Oh, okay. Let me just check what my bonus for that is. Probably not good. No, it's a -2.
I'll go ahead and say, if everybody wants to roll insight.
Haha,
go ahead,
0.
because-
Amazing.
Nice. Incredible.
I know nothing.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, Biff can roll insight.
4
It's a
Nice.
21 from Tidbit.
to 18 from his phone.
Nice.
13
Nice.
from Biff.
Frankie's just standing there smiling.
Yeah, Frankie, this man is probably the most reputable man you've ever met. Like, he couldn't lie. He's probably half fae because he seems like he is incapable of lying.
Okay.
Biff, bullshit. All you get is whatever this man's about to say is bullshit. Because you've been in the biz long enough, you know when somebody's like about to spew
I
bullshit.
got you.
For Lizz, I will go ahead and say you say the man says, "I haven't seen a whole boy like that." No, he hasn't seen a whole boy
Really?
like that.
Gotcha.
And
Oh,
Tidbit,
well.
he says, "I haven't seen a whole boy like that." And your synapses fire, and you make the connection. between the joke, Handy, and not a whole boy, you guys are looking for a hand.
Yeah, I think...
Congratulations, you've solved my Addams Family puzzle.
Well, yeah, we do kind of need help, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Tidbit just kind of like there's a beat and then thunk, head onto the table.
Miss Foam pats Tidbit, and it is a hoof. It's a hoof.
It is a hoof.
You alright,
so
dear?
3 out of 4 of you, this man is bullshitting you.
You've never seen a boy in your life.
Don't be rude. Oh no, you broke her.
She
I'm
has a
so
point.
sorry. Oh, fuck.
Do not be sorry, that was hilarious. And I will go ahead and say the man says, I have 2, and Biff, you instantly know that part is not a lie. He has seen a boy in his
You
entire
have
life.
2 and you've never looked at them?
Mock, if you're gonna be this funny, we're just never gonna end this adventure. I'm gonna be taking over all of the Sundays, and it's never gonna end.
It's just gonna be this conversation.
For the rest of eternity.
It's just like, just in the interest of moving things along, Frankie is just gonna be like, okay, thank you very much for your help. She is just going to head off and I guess check the next building along, unless anybody has any objections.
I think like Tidbit just catches her arm and pulls her back. Okay, how about part of a boy then?
What? What?
The man sort of like...
Sorry, I am not particularly genre savvy, but I don't think that this is going to involve a dismembered child, Tidbit.
Tidbit continuing to ignore Frankie, but still holding on to her, just looking up at the shopkeep. We did say they were rather handy, didn't we?
I don't know what you're implying. I'm going to make the full use of this 0.
Please do. Shopkeep sort of like squirms again. And then you like see him squirm in a different way, and he's like, get off. And as he does, he eventually manages to like take off whatever was like giving him the creeps, and a hand splats on the floor, and immediately turns around to the shopkeep, flips over on its back, and gives it the bird.
Good.
Who taught you that?
Hello, I believe we were sent to look for you. You have something to do with some kidnapped friends of ours.
The hand flips on its front and then makes a so-so as much as you can while like your entire body is your hand. So like it's like flat on the table, but it's still like rocking to side to make this so-so.
I mean, okay, I got a question. Is it a toon hand or a real kind hand?
Yeah.
Is this in the shot? Like, is this a toon area or is this a real kind area?
It's a good question.
So it seems to be sort of a blend. Like when you're in like a real kind town that's still in Inkwell, even though you guys aren't in Inkwell anymore, some of the stuff is real, some of the materials are toon.
If the hand is a toon, it can probably just kind of hang in the air for a second.
Yeah.
Do the motion.
Here's the thing. That is a real kind hand.
Oh, good.
Oh!
Excellent.
It's not actively rotting, so you don't have to worry about that. But
it seems fine.
Passively.
It seems quite happy and able to move around on its own. It doesn't seem bothered by this, but it's a real kind hand, not a toon hand.
Amazing.
That's currently going
Thank you.
sort of related to what's going on with whatever your friends are doing.
Surprisingly enough, Tidbit is completely unfazed by this.
No, yeah, same with Miss Foe.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
like
think-
it would be slightly more disturbing if it was toon, but no, this is real kind. This is fine.
Yeah.
I think you see the hand like flop back on like its hands and feet.
Fingers.
Fingers.
and you see like its middle finger, instead of being used to prop it up, sort of like scanning the party, and then it immediately scuttles over to Cranky and sort of like latches
To who?
itself on Cranky's foot, like, don't leave me here.
I'm guessing Cranky is the shopkeep.
No. To Frankie.
Oh,
As
okay.
in
So no, I
Frankie.
miss it.
As
You
in the
definitely,
person
I definitely
who...
did hear cranky.
I'm sorry.
Cranky,
To
canon in
Frankie
tune
with
times.
an F, aka the person who is both the necromancer, but also believes the shopkeeper is incapable of lying. So you know.
Honestly, I don't particularly see any connection between the hand and the shopkeep, but Frankie is going to go, oh hello, and she's just going to reach down,
New friend.
and she has made a new friend, and she is going to offer Thing the piece of candy that she got from definitely not Morticia Adams that we were talking to earlier.
You guys have made the mental connection.
Yes.
You see the hand accept the candy and then like do some like tricks while balanced on his thumb of like
Yeah.
the thing you could do with the coin, and then interestingly the hand gives the candy right back. It's
okay.
it's not taking the candy from you.
It's like, oh yes, I suppose it's like no mouth. She is going to like try it, like if the hand wants to just like she's going to try and not exactly pick it up, but like it was like, it can't be pleasant to walk around on the floor like that.
The hand, now given the ability to stay with the party, immediately like scuttles up to your shoulder and like lightly clamps down. It's weird because it's sort of like a bird is resting on your shoulder, even though it's not claws that are resting on your shoulder. It's definitely a hand. But like, you know the way that birds perch with like their claws sort of like perched on? It's the exact same way where it like keeps its middle finger like scanning around.
Like a really weird parrot.
Yeah. You have no idea if it sees through the middle finger. You don't particularly want to continue that line of thought.
Nope.
But congratulations.
Frankie might.
Well, yeah, okay, fair. Frankie might. I don't. I, the DM, would prefer to just leave it to your imagination.
It's like, oh, well, you can come and help us find our mystery boy. She says, like, no,
Amazing.
again, 0.
There's another thunk as Tidbit head collides with the desk again.
You're going to give yourself a headache if you keep doing that, dear.
Already got one, thank you.
Yeah.
You see the shopkeep still sort of like leaned up against the wall. He's clearly now grumpy with you guys, but he's not really doing anything. It seems like the moment the hand was revealed, whatever power he had over the hand has been severed, so he can't actually do anything against you.
Guess you could
as
say he
much as
showed his hand.
Hey!
Boo.
We immediately like do the whoop of like black descending on the screen. And hey, you guys, would you like a short break?
Yes, please. I need to refill my water bottle.
Yes, please.
All right. Give
How
us
far in
like
did we make it, percent-wise, you think?
so
What are we,
8
like, 80% there, 75% there to the end of this?
So 8 minus 2. I do promise several of the future encounters are much, much smaller. You guys did
Gonna get
a significant part of like a third of the actual puzzle.
They won't be. We will extend them.
Yep, that's the thing.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Excellent.
We are going to cause as much trouble as we possibly can, because this is how D&D works, right?
Yep. Hee-hoo, this is how the game works.
Do you need water?
Nah, I'm good.
I'm glad we have a nice hand friend.
I love Thing. I love Thing so much. Honestly, probably one of my favourite characters out of the Addams family.
Oh.
Like, Thing and Cousin It were the absolute best.
Okay, I'm gonna go and stretch as I have the chance. Sun salutation.
That was it.
Oop.
Do you mind if I turn the light on?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's going to get dark.
So I think it's going well.
I think it's going great.
Yeah. Having a good time.
I feel very I feel very sorry for poor Tidbit, who does not want to be here.
Not want to.
He wants to go home and
He's
go
been
to sleep.
Sucking into this, but his fucking his boffin's gone missing. Therefore, Tidbit needs to rescue him.
It's true.
Goodness. What's it doing?
I do just find it entertaining that now that you've seen him out of "oh shit, we're all gonna die" mode, which he was in for the majority of the museum,
Yeah.
it's like the epitome of resting bitch face.
It's just
Yeah.
very tired all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get the vibe that he's particularly unfriendly or anything. He's
No,
just
he's-
worn out.
He just doesn't want anything to do with it. To be fair, it is like dialed up to 11 because he did pull an all-nighter before this.
No, true. But consider, I think this is a man who could probably do with more sleep at all points.
Yeah. That is true.
Like, spiritually, if not physically.
Spiritually, emotionally.
It's all around.
I'm still having such a good time with the mental image of Ms. Foam as moving topiary.
Very good.
So good, and I've been trying to find an opportunity to make a joke about a chess piece because that's what she looks like. She looks like
God,
she
right.
looks like she's dressed up.
Constantly only moving like forward one space and to the left.
She's just sort of zigzagging around. we go up to the castle and it's got one of those checkerboard floors. And Miss Funkin is like moving in like this really weird way.
Oh, perfect.
Miss Foam, can you step over to D7 over there? Yes, thank you.
Also, personal headcanon, Ms. Foam's never seen a chess
God.
set in her life.
Yes. I should like to go to bed.
Aww. It's too early for that, though.
I should like to go to bed anyway.
Oh, did you want me to, while we're having a break, did you want like another mandarin or something?
Nah, I'm not hungry. So
Okay.
cool.
You got any more of that candy corn from last year?
We
Some of that?
do. We haven't actually opened up the second packet yet. We should probably do
It
that.
lives in the same cupboard as the tea.
Amazing.
Because here's the thing: once we open it, it's good. We've got a very short window.
Then you're
before
on
it
a
goes
timer, yeah.
soggy. And then, but like,
You can't like put a clip to close it or something,
No,
or
because
does it still get soggy?
it will still get soggy. It will get soggy just at a slower rate.
Yeah. Also, we have like 2 clips, and they rotate between like 2 different like the bag of porridge oats that we use for breakfast, and
And
like
the veggie drawer in the freezer.
yeah.
You don't have like any other clips of any kind?
No, we do, but they're all constantly in use by various things, is the thing.
Yeah, okay.
The hell of being an adult, never having enough bag clips.
I have like those. They're not paper. What are they?
Like the twists.
No, the other ones. The rectangles.
Eh?
They to hold pieces of paper together, but it's not paper clips. It's the thicker one. When you have thick paper.
bulldog clips, bulldog clips.
Is that what those are called?
Yeah.
I did not know
I
this.
have like so many of those.
I mean, yeah, they're effective, I guess.
I have never heard that word before in my life. Also, hey, the DM is apparently the last person to come back.
Hey,
You're good. You're fine.
That's fine. I never
You-
left, so like you kind of
Technically, you
perpetually
need the
stuck with me.
most rest partway through.
All right.
We're
Let me
driving you nuts
see.
yet?
No, I'm having the most fun.
Okay.
Okay, we need to work harder
I-
at driving snail nuts then, guys.
Okay, do we
Oh,
want
yeah,
to go even
totally.
slower?
No, we have to ramp it up, but we have to make it in a way that's just buck wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, we
yeah,
can do
okay.
that.
I'm gonna have to be funnier.
We can do this. I mean, you guys manage it like every other regular Odyssey session, so...
We have a standard to uphold.
This time you just have to punish me, not Kai.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
It's
ready to
hard
go
when
if everybody
Kai
else
is-
is.
Kai is playing the most punishable character in the
Yeah,
group.
that's
right now.
problem. I'm like even more of a fucking straight man than Frankie is currently. Why did I do this to myself?
Sorry.
I should have played Boffin.
Because Dr. Boffin is pure and deserves a break.
I think Tidbit deserves a fucking break as well, to be quite
Tidbit
honest.
definitely deserves a break
both
after this one.
Well, maybe Tidbit should have considered that before they decided that Boffin needed a break.
I don't think Tidbit had any choice in that.
Should have thought about that
Anywho.
before becoming peasants.
Yeah, that's what the fucking vibes are here.
Oh, I'm so mad that I didn't think to dress Frankie up as Yzma
that
now.
would have been great.
That would have been delightful.
Real girl boss energies.
Yes! Yes, unironic. No, you know what I decided like ages ago before Halloween was I was gonna do a Cruella thing.
Yes, you.
It was
wa-
gonna be
fucking
that.
were.
And make girl boss jokes, but no, it's fine. Glinda the Good Witch it is.
These are all very good.
So, you guys realize all you're saying is next year,
There we
all of
go.
October is just going to be Odyssey
Halloween.
one shot
Yeah,
for Halloween.
Halloween.
Just non-stop Halloween. We're not going to bother doing an Animus episode, but we're going to just do non-stop Halloween episodes.
We're just gonna do more Halloween.
And then we'll do Summerween, and then eventually all of Odyssey will just be Halloween one shots.
Yeah, this works with what I've got
It's
planned.
fucking spooky enough.
Yeah, it's already fucked up enough.
Oh, can I? I'm gonna say it afterwards. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay,
Game.
Let
game,
us-
game.
Game.
resume. Because, oh boy, I promised that the other parts are less dense, but oh boy, we got several to go.
Let's go.
I've done this to myself. I want to be clear. I am not blaming you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
That's okay.
All right.
I am
Are you
blameless
guys?
in this.
Oh yeah, totally. Do you guys want to go just next house over, next house over, next house over, or do you want to like pick and choose among any of the remaining?
I was going to say, in the spirit of trick-or-treating.
In the spirit of trick or treating, we visit one after the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, you come to the double doors that again, they're the Wild West double doors. You know, just for curiosity's sake, who comes in first?
Biff is probably the most eager.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Definitely would be Biff then.
Yeah.
All right, so Biff, you blow open the doors. Your foot steps in. There's a creak.
Yep. I mean, she's used to floorboards creaking under her. This is not out of the ordinary.
Your other foot steps in. There's absolutely no sound, and then. You're in the Wild West.
Shit.
We cut to Biff and she's got a cowboy hat on.
I was gonna say she just goes, pats around in her pockets and then takes off the witch hat and puts on a cowboy hat.
Hey!
Excellent.
Again, of the same like size.
Mhm.
Very good. Very good. And you still have the broom. The broom is now a horse head on the other side, though.
Yes,
Miss Fum
you're
is on
so
the
right.
end
You're
of
correct. Miss Foam has a
Among you look out, the entire tavern does not follow the same sort of like real kind style of like gothic Victorian horror. This is full Wild West. There are circle tables. There are cowboy hats among the few patrons that are over there. There are shiny things in holsters that when you look closer are actually just like aluminum foil. They're not actually guns, but they shine and twinkle, so when the camera like pans back by them quickly, it looks like guns. There's at the bar,
Practical
there's
effects.
somebody with a big swirly mustache who sort of says, "Now listen, we don't want no trouble here."
well. Oh god.
Come on, trick or treat.
Trick or treat!
Well, trouble's what you're gonna get. Unless you cough up the goods.
Yes.
I swear, we don't have the goods. Just give us more time. The mustache is like swirling in and swirling out in nervousness.
The boss said
In
I
case
can't
you were
do
wondering,
that.
yes, this is a tune.
Yeah. I would hope it was.
Now
Else
we're
this
gonna
would be
do this the
worrying.
easy way or the hard way. You want a trick or treat?
Oh, God's fine treat! I'll get the treats. They like they like look like one of those like wiggle boards as they sort of like wobble over to the back area. All of the eyes that are at the tavern turn back around to you. Weird. Frankie, do you guys also want to enter? Do you just want to let this happen?
I think it'll be extremely funny if this is just a Biff thing. She
Yeah,
walks in,
yeah,
does this, and
frankly.
comes out.
Okay, that's very good. You see the barkeep wobble back in. They've got like a little bowl, but when they put down the bowl, Biff, your eyes squint as the camera looks at you, and like black lines cover everywhere that's not your face, and you see the bowl says 1 piece of candy per trick-or-treater.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, I got a question. I got some friends outside. Does that count as one? Can I get one for them? There's 2 of them.
Miss Fum brays like a horse.
Well, you're in here right now. I'm talking about them outside.
Snorts in agreement.
And you see the tune like completely stop their wibbling wobbling and just like considering, and they're like, well, are they able to like wave through the door? I just want to make sure that like everybody gets a proper piece of candy and like one is traditional.
You can see Frankie like waving over the things like, hello!
Okay, very important question. Tidbit. Do you also look in the door, or are you not participating?
I was gonna say, I don't think he looks in the door as such, but I think he is kind of standing just next to Frankie. You can't see his head because it's currently buried in his hands, but you do see little deedly boppers going wild just above the doors.
And they're like, Okay, yeah, there's... Okay, and they, like, pull back the candy box out. They're like, one for the unicorn, there's one pumpkin, there's two pumpkins, there's, of course, the big intimidating person who could almost certainly kill me by just breathing on me, and of course, and Biff.
Biff snorts. Like a horse.
Biff, the barkeep has just laid out 5 pieces of candy for you. They saw the Deedly Boppers and assumed that was 2 different people.
Ooh.
Do you correct them, or do you go on your way? Because the rule says 1 per each person.
Well, actually, we do have 5, don't we?
Yeah, because we've got thing.
I mean, yeah. Or,
No,
I mean,
plus Biff's not gonna count. She shakes them all in one big hand. She like slams it down on top of them. They're not broken or anything, but she and then like grabs them up and she's like, "Been a pleasure doing business with you."
The 2 turns white as a sheet. Their mustache like droops, and they like sort of like fall to the floor. But if Biff like looks over, they'll see that the barkeep is like winking at Biff, like, thanks for the gag kick.
Oh, that's cute.
She probably winks back, and then like kind of like stomps her way outside, and then opens her hand, and she's got a piece of candy for everybody.
hell yeah.
Oh, awesome. That's so cute.
Yeah, Tidbit will take it. Like, at this point, again, he's not a massive fan of Halloween. He'll take the free candy.
Yeah, Tidbit's just along for the
Hell
ride at the
yeah.
moment.
Does our
I'll
handy
note-
friend take one?
So I'll note our handy friend does take one and does the exact same trick thing without opening the candy, and then this time they offer the candy back out to Biff, not just Frankie.
Are you sure?
The hand sort of like nods with the fingers that are extending the candy. So like its pointer and its middle finger are like holding the candy, and it nods those fingers.
Snail,
Thank
actually,
you.
everyone, I just need you to know that every single time that Thing is described as doing a thing, either Jay or myself does the exact same thing with our hands.
That didn't even
Thinking as
That's
well, yeah.
literally what I'm doing as well.
We
What
must
about
do
you,
it.
the listener at home?
You are not immune to being Thing.
Try this at home, kids.
And you say cabeza?
Thank you. Excellent.
I'm so happy, you guys. I love this so much.
Okay, what was which one was next in the row?
Next in the row was pretty normal house.
Got wooden boards on it.
Yeah.
Yes, it is the one with the wooden boards on it. I'm glad you remembered that detail because it's not actually written down. It's more gothic horror described, so I would have forgotten.
I
That's
wrote
good.
down house wooden boards.
Oh, same.
Nice.
Right, you guys
All
are
right.
keeping notes?
I'm
God
not keeping
someone
a lot
keeps
of notes, but
All right,
Snail gave
so
us a list of buildings. There's no way I was
It-
gonna remember them any other way.
No. Valid and fair.
it sure is a house.
Knock on the
Knock,
door for
knock.
trick-or-treating!
Yep.
You guys like knock on the door. Roll me perception.
Sure.
Excellent.
And once again, there is still the rule that if you don't want to roll perception, you could get advantage on a future roll.
Tidbit got a crit fail.
Ooh!
Amazing.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it's because his head is still at his hands.
Yep.
Yeah!
It's a
He knocks
16
his
from
head
Biff.
against the door while it's still in his hands,
Mhm.
and then gets dizzy.
13.
Sounds about right.
I'm not rolling. I've got a -2, I'm not rolling.
Okay.
All right. So, Tidbit, I am going to need you to take a... I don't remember how it's called in D&D, but there is a way that you can, like, not take damage, but still, like, be... There's like, a way to, like, not take damage, but still be, like, stunned by something.
Oh.
And considering the fact that you did use your head on the door...
I mean,
Done
to be fair,
condition.
other people declared that he used his head on the door. I will agree with it, though, because it's fucking hilarious.
I am gonna need you to be like stunned for, I don't know, like 2 actions. I'm not trying to punish you. It's just like you did get a 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just give him disadvantage on his next roll. That sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That'll do.
Miss Foam, you sort of knock on the door with your hooves, and it sort of sounds weird, but you also haven't really knocked on many doors with your hooves, so you're not sure.
Yeah.
But Biff.
I think she's knocked on many doors, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
No, because Biff keeps walking through them.
Yep.
Hang on. Biff.
Yeah.
You see everybody knocking, so you do decide to do the polite thing and you knock.
Mm-hmm.
But you know doors.
I do.
You know doors.
The enemy.
This is not the sound of just a normal door or even like a fancy kind of door. This is the sound of a boarded up door from the inside.
Huh.
Let me ask, praying your better nature, or at least more group-focused nature against the enemy, do you tell everybody or do you just walk through?
Oh, what if she just walks through like a fucking like Kool-Aid
need-
man?
I'm gonna need you to make a strength check.
Yeah. Can I say athletics?
Yeah, I'll allow it because it is Biff's special thing.
Do you know how in
Ooh, it's
that
a 10.
one SpongeBob scene, fucking he's like pushing through the wall and you see the
And you
outline.
press the
Yes.
can.
That's what I was imagining Miss Foam doing with the tent at the beginning.
Look, we've just got to turn it
Yeah,
into running
the
a
moment
gag.
that the tent like broke, there was the hand. But if you were looking on the inside, we now see the camera like pan into the inside, and we see like the diviner looking at the wall, and you do see like Ms. Foam and also the horse topiary head just sort of like pressing through. And then the camera cuts back to the present.
Ominous as hell.
I love this.
That was a 10 total.
Yeah, so
Is that going to do it or nah? Because I do have a point of inspiration.
you do have a point of inspiration.
And I promised I'd use it for something stupid.
Yeah.
You did promise you would use it for something stupid. So here's the thing. With a 10 with Biff under normal circumstances, if it was just a door, I would say, yeah, okay. But here's the thing. It is specifically a barricaded door.
Mhm.
And you do have a point of inspiration.
I
to
will use my point of inspiration to Kool-Aid Man through the door. Yes,
Hell
thank you.
yeah.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to offer this to Mock, but you do not have to accept this. We can do this the normal way. But
Mhm.
I would offer Biff comes up to the door and bounces off the door. Steps over 2 times and barrels through the wall.
Yes. No, you're right. That was the
Very
10
good.
and then the nat 20 of the inspiration. Yes, correct.
Very
It was
good.
easier to go through the wall than the door.
The door was barricaded, man, but nobody barricades the wall.
They didn't think to barricade the wall.
God.
Holy shit.
Biff would make a
So-
really good like horror slasher villain.
It was.
Yeah.
So we come to the inside. We see someone despondently crying over a doll in their hands. They're
Shit.
like, "Oh, Gertrude, my poor Gertrude, and nobody." And they look up in horror.
Yeah,
And
she
see-
busts through the wall and she goes, trick or treat!
Yeah, bust on my feet like the Kool-Aid man.
Oh, God, this fucking party.
Yeah, trick or treat.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
Snail, welcome to what I have to deal with every other week.
No, it's so good. I love you guys. Okay, so here's the thing. You do loudly shout trick or treat, right?
Yep. No,
The
she wasn't sneaking.
I know. The woman doesn't respond. Like she is looking at you, tears welled up down and rolling down her eyes, but she doesn't say anything, and more notably, she doesn't have the fucking goods.
I was gonna say, she needs to have a moment of what the fuckery because you did just burst through her wall.
Frankie is.
Oh, was this a bad time or?
Frankie is going to sort of stick her head like around, like out for the side of Biff and just be like, "Hello." It's like, no trick or treat. Oh, what have you got there? She's pointing at like the doll in the woman's hands.
And the woman sort of like holds the doll back and is sort of like, I thought there was a rule that if the lights weren't on, there was no trick or treat.
Oh, yes, that does. Well, I'm very sorry about your wall. I can't fix that, but you said the doll was broken, right?
Well, on first look, it definitely seems like a broken doll, but when she sort of like, you know, dissolves in tears, you see that the doll isn't broken so much as wasn't really ever made right. It was sort of like the way that it was sewn, it was already malformed, and then like a child clearly used it, so like it's gotten worse, but like it was at its base, it wasn't fixed, if that makes sense.
No, that's fair enough. I would still, because this is a cantrip, I would still like to try casting mending on it, just like to see if that does anything.
All right, I will say it does nothing to the
like the overall structure of the doll.
Yeah, it does nothing to the coloration of the doll, which is good because that's often the part that's sentimental.
Mm-hmm.
But like the little bit of tufts and tears that you know, normal wear and tear, a mom wouldn't bother sewing up until it like became a rip.
Yeah.
That all sort of reforms. And she sort of like looks down and goes, Gertrude! Gertrude! And she puts the doll on the ground and the doll starts moving.
Oh,
it's
okay.
very bad to look at.
Excellent.
Very bad to look at.
Wonderful.
But the doll sort of like does a little twirl and like bows at Frankie.
Frankie like just sort of like claps her paw and hoof together. It's like, oh yes, well done. She's used to seeing things move really weirdly, so like.
You fixed my beloved Gertrude. How can I ever repay you aside from making you fix my wall? Because I did have my lights turned off.
It's like, yes. Well, we were trying to we were on a sort of a trick-or-treat treasure hunt situation, and we can come back and fix your wall, like, after we've done.
And the woman sort of, like, stands up, and she, like, she's like finally recovering because her child is okay. So like she's sort of like wiping the tears away from her eyes even as she's still a little wobbly, and she's like, do you pinky promise to come back? And extends her pinky.
Yes. I will do this.
Now remember, this does mean if you break it, you do lose the finger. This is established toon rules.
No.
Yeah, this is serious shit.
I
thought you were just like low-level cursed to have bad luck for the rest of your life.
I mean,
but
I think
okay.
it kind of depends on the toon, to be honest.
I think losing the finger's funnier.
Well, great news, Frankie. You don't have any fingers.
Well, she has like
toe beans.
on her paw hand. She has sort of like stubby little toe beans. So like they're not great for pinky promise, but like, you know, they'll get the job done. It's fine.
Yep.
So the woman says, I accept this. And she sort of like nods and she goes back to her cupboard. You see that the cupboard is entirely bare, and she reaches up and pulls down an unfortunately very, very dusty old bowl that clearly is like plastic and has like on the side the jack-o'-lantern face, and it like was supposed to be orange, but like it's sort of turned brown, and she sort of like turns towards you and says, "This is the last of the candy I have." And you guys sort of like think, because like she said she had turned the light off, and if this was like all that she had, she probably did have a lot of trick-or-treaters, so how did it get dusty? But never mind. And you see that there are exactly 3 pieces of candy in the bowl, sadly. And she's like, "I don't have enough money to make more, but now that Gertrude is up and going again, I should be able to care for myself, so here." And she offers the 3 pieces of candy to you.
Frankie does not feel bad. She is on a quest. She's fine with this.
Biff also has grabbed one.
I do think Tidbit's just gotta... Tidbit won't take one. He's just kind of got to look at the lady going like, "Ma'am, are you okay?"
Tidbit wishes someone would ask him that question.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the woman says, "Well, I think after Gertrude's spell tying her to the Quirovia realm sort of disintegrated, I didn't realize it was connected to the doll's condition. People did call me like Mad Mary for a couple of days, but now that she's back, I should be all right. I just didn't know what to do."
Tidbit just like, mouth snaps shut, blink, blink. "I'm glad," and just turns away and walks off because, like, you know what? Too much to deal with. Not his problem, gods. there's
Not his monkeys, not his circus.
pretty much.
Yep.
All right. That's another one.
Did Miss Sloan want to take that last candy piece or not?
I think she does. She just thinks this is part of the sort of tradition of Halloween, even if this
Yeah, this
person
is normal.
in
Breaking into
Is-
people's
re-
houses, this is fine.
I mean, to
Breaking
be
and
fair,
entering.
for toons that are arguably some form of protagonists, yeah, this is a pretty normal Halloween.
Excellent.
I mean, yeah. Duh. So the next house over is once again the one with pillars that seems to be sort of a mansion because, like, it's bigger.
Ooh.
It's not really, like, made of anything special aside from the stone. So it's not, like, actually impressive. It's not, like, rich people rich. It's just, like, a bigger house.
Yo, you guys think they got full-size candy bars in there?
Well, you never know until you ask. Knock on the door, trick or treat.
And the door is opened. You see a gorgeous Asian, real kind tiefling. Yes. And you see, like, her horns are, like, bedazzled in flowers. You see that her black hair is sort of, like, styled to, like, accentuate the horns. She's not ashamed or worried about who she is.
Fuck yeah.
And she's in, like, sort of like a peasant's, you know the peasant dress, where it's not actually about, like, being a peasant, but it's, like, the style of the dress?
Mm-hmm.
She's got the little, like, puffed sleeves and so forth, and she's like, "Oh, hello! I don't recognize you. Are you all from another realm, perhaps?"
Yes.
Out of town, yeah.
It's like, I just rolled a wisdom because I don't think because that's what will saves are translate to.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Frankie is just sort of like opening and closing her mouth like yes. His voice has gone very squeaky.
Has Frankie got a crush?
Yes.
Crash. And
Suki's not even here to tease her for it.
I know it's tragic, but some things we have to sacrifice for the game to go on. The woman sort of like spreads some wings because if Wizard of the Coast thinks that tieflings don't deserve wings,
Rude. Incorrect.
Wizards of the Coast doesn't deserve tieflings. That's all I'll say.
Wizards of the Coast are cowards.
She spreads her wings and she's like, Well, fear not. If you all find yourself a little bit waylaid for a couple of days, feel free to come to my house. I've gotten sort of an agreement with the castle, and you see the castle is immediately once again like overshadowed and shadowed. There's like a crack, even though like where you are is completely like rain free. She's like, I'm sure we'll be able to work this out within a couple of days, but if they've already sort of like set you on a quest, then you should probably be fine.
Yeah, we're trying to rescue some kidnapped friends of ours, so thank you for the offer, but we should probably go do that.
Are you sure? I mean, we have time. We have time, don't we?
Irina sort of like laughs, and you hear that the laugh is musical. I will say, all casters, this is a magically enhanced laugh. Her laugh is not naturally this pretty.
Amazing.
But it tinkles like bells, even if you know it's magical, so it's still kind of endearing. And she's like, well, regardless, if you ever either come back to our realm or need help with the rest of your quest, I will go ahead and give you these. And she pulls out 4 candied apples.
Ooh.
Good shit. And she puts 1 in each of your bowls, and then she sort of like leans forward and says, and I haven't seen you in a couple of days. And the hand sort of like you see the camera like turns around, and you see the hand like moving as if trying to consider which hand position to be made. And then eventually you sort of see the hand like flip over to its side and point at the merchant's place, and then flip over and give the merchant's place the finger, and then like land on its fingers and like sort of like shake its middle finger as like a shake. And she's like, oh, well, I promise you won't ever have to worry about that happening again. I'll make sure to deal with that. And from the glower that's raised towards the shop, you have a feeling that our dear hand will not ever have to worry about that happening again.
Wonderful.
Please tell me that she gives our hand friend one of those little spider rings.
Oh! You know what? I was going to say she specifically doesn't give the hand friend any candy, even though they seem to be on very good terms, but you are right that she does slip a spider ring onto its ring finger, and it sort of like prances around on Frankie's shoulder like, look at me.
The hand now finally has a Halloween costume of its own.
Yay! It's very good. All right, and Irina says, well, if you already have your next thing laid out, I won't keep you much longer. Once again, and she sort of like, her eyes linger on Frankie just long enough that it's noticeable, but if you're not paying attention, it doesn't seem like too long, and she's like, feel free to come back after, if you wish, but if I don't see you again, I'll wish you safe travels.
Okay. Frankie uses a very, very high-pitched, squeaky voice. Does not have to handle this.
My God.
All right. So we move right along, as long as Frankie doesn't like keep pulling against the others to stay at Irina's house.
It's fine. Like she'll have to. She will just sort of like when the door closes, she's just gonna sort of stand there for a bit and then just like shake her head like a dog trying to get water out of its ears. As like, okay, moving on.
Nothing of interest happens. It's fine.
Nope.
Or like.
It's like I had just like, what was that? A feeling? No, good.
Oh,
all
actually,
right.
Can I pitch this wonderful gag? One was hearts quietly, like very gently floating off of Frankie.
Yes. Like
Miss
little iridescent and iridescent like little bubbles and just going pop.
Miss Fum definitely tried to eat one of them.
They don't taste good. Tastes like
very good. All right. So you guys start moving towards the church. It's a little bit farther away than the rest of the village was, like, with each other. You get the feeling that, like, the first part of the village that was made was the parts that you've already been to, and then as it expanded, it sort of moved on. So, like, when you got to the mansion, it was slightly further away. The church is now even more slightly further away than that. Like, the first original couple of buildings were the first parts made, and then everything else sort of, like, drifted out of that. And when you get to the church, once again, it has pillars. It sure looks like a church. And I will mention that the hand sort of, like, is, like, still bebopping along with its ring, and then, like, looks at the church and sort of, like, scuttles down Frankie's back and just, like, sits on its heel with, like, the other hand fingers, like, supporting it, and is just like, nope, not going in there.
It's like, oh, is there something up? It's like, you don't like that place?
Once again, the hand sort of makes, like, a so-so, and at this point, you guys have known the hand long enough to know that that probably means that it's not, like, outright dangerous. The hand is very fond of you guys, so you get the feeling it wouldn't, like, not warn you if there was danger.
Yeah.
It just doesn't like the place.
Well, okay. If you want, you can wait here, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay?
And nods its middle finger.
Yeah, it's gonna sort of like gently, the hand does not need any help getting down, but Frankie is going to use her unicorn tail just as a sort of like ramp for it to go down anyway.
The hand again, still real kind, but the hand does slide down the unicorn tail.
Whee!
Excellent.
All right, so you guys are at the church. Do you immediately approach the doors, or do you want to, I don't know, roll perception?
I mean, I am actually interested. Like, can I argue not perception, but like history or religion?
Religion?
We've got a whole religion thing just to like.
Tidbit got a nat 20.
Oh, okay, it's fine. We don't need to then.
I will absolutely let you argue religion. If you just want to go off of tidbits, then each of you can just have an extra bonus for another roll.
I'll just go off for tidbits, frankly.
Yeah.
All right, so tidbit, you look at the place, and, like, I will mention you're not going to get anything for the graveyard yet, but you look at the place and, like, the way it's connected to the graveyard without, like, getting details from the graveyard, and it's like, it's just built a little funky, and you look at the door, and there's, like, massive claw marks on it.
Oh boy.
And you sort of, like, look closer at the door, and it's also got, like, fire coming from the bottom, and you look at the claw marks, and that's probably werewolf. That's, like, it like, smells of werewolf, even if, like, the fire doesn't necessarily say the same thing, but, like, if you, like, sniff at the claw marks itself, werewolves have a distinctive smell. You can smell the musk of it.
And he
it's
knows
like,
this because I established earlier in this game that Dr. Buffin is secretly a werewolf. So
No,
that's
I
how Tidbit knows
refuse!
this.
Amazing.
I reject
I love
this.
AUs.
Love getting to bring up stupid random jokes that I pulled out earlier.
We love it, and we love you. So, the
I
church
love the
is...
callback.
I will go ahead and mention, the church is lit. So it's not
Yo, it's
saying,
lit in
I'm not
there."
open.
Jesus Christ.
No, that was the college party.
You've already been to the place that's lit. It's just lit. Like,
The
as
lights
in,
are on.
the lights are on.
Okay,
it's
so we're
not
allowed to
saying
knock on
don't
these
trick or treat
doors.
here.
Yo, guys, this place is lit.
Hey.
I don't suppose anyone here has any silver just in case?
Good question.
Silver?
so.
Like, I don't know. Can Miss Fun roll hammer space?
You sure can, but just for fun, roll at a disadvantage.
Excellent.
Ooh,
Just for fun.
it's unlikely
Yeah.
that you've got it in there.
Lesson 7. So I don't know. I feel like she'll put. I want her to have like a broken magical sword, and she just pulls it out, and she's like, "I'm not sure if has silver in it, so to speak, but it might." And she just hands it over.
She's got like
What
a
I'll
hilt
say
and like
is
a
with
little
the
sliver of-
And a bit of the blade, yeah.
Yeah.
What I'll say is, considering that that's a 7 rather than below a 5, and like crit is bad, I'll go ahead and say you can have that. However, I will say, unless Dr. Weird rolls really good, you cannot prove that it's silver.
No, I was gonna say the moment that it gets handed over to Dr. Weird, it's just immediately like thunk into the ground because this man is a fucking weakling. What would I'm gonna roll investigation here. I think.
All right.
Seems right.
That's a nat 20 plus 8.
Are you... Dr. Weird, are you for real?
Debatable.
Okay.
He is a toon.
So, you roll investigation, and you guys are still at the door, but there are some of the stained glass windows, and they're hard to look through. But there are actually bits that are like natural glass, just in the stained glass style, so you can actually see in, and you sort of like look around, and you just see that the inside is also kind of in shambles, and you just sort of look around, and since Dr. Boffin is a werewolf in this universe, you just look around and see, it doesn't seem like this place was exactly broken into in spite of the claw marks. The werewolf's inside the church.
Oh, damn!
Yeah, and this is why that investigation was meant to be checking if the sword actually was silver. But the other information is probably...
Oh, I'm so sorry. You know what?
The other,
With that...
the other info is probably good for the perception check that he did earlier, so...
Yeah, I will go ahead and... He got 2 nat 20s in a row. I can't freaking
He
believe.
did.
Yeah.
So, with that, I will also say, it seems like in the compound of the magic sword, there is silver, but it's also like... It's like a metal compound.
Yeah.
So, the interesting thing is there are bits where the silver is more present.
Well, that's not
But,
very
like-
well made sword. No
Yeah, I
wonder
was
it
just
broke.
thinking that.
It did break, is the thing.
No,
Good point,
That's
good point.
a good point.
But there are also parts that are like more silver. So if you could like get the werewolf specifically with those parts, it could probably calm down at least a little bit, even if it did
Why
burn.
don't you get stabbed and maybe you'll calm down?
Like it'll burn, but it won't kill them. It's not that pure silver.
Yes, I think Tidbit's just gonna hand this to Biff, and I go, Miss Hitley, I think this will probably be best in your hands. Don't go stabbing anyone with it unless they attack us first. Maybe, but there's probably werewolves in there, and that's got silver in it somewhere. This is a really rubbish sword, Miss Fine. Where did you even get this?
Some adventurer brought it in.
All right.
Ominous.
Into what? The swamp?
Huh?
Yeah.
Into what? The swamp?
Yeah.
Some adventurer brought it in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What?
They didn't bring it back
Uh-huh.
out.
Yes, they didn't.
Yeah.
Weren't you listening?
But Biff, you now have the partially silver sword.
Nice.
And you have a door in front of you.
Also instructions to not stab anyone unless they attack first.
Hey, Biff.
I mean, is anyone gonna stop her?
Nope.
Nope.
You want to roll strength?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you should roll strength.
I'm gonna do athletics here.
Yeah. For the rest of the adventure, I'm gonna say strength when I'm talking about a door. If it's in relation to the door, I mean athletics.
I'm gonna do it with advantage
Yeah, why
because
not?
I didn't do a perception check.
A 17,
A
I was gonna
17.
say even a 16 would be decent, but you know what? just for the gag, because you got 1 point better with the advantage, I'm going to reward you for spending that advantage.
Excellent.
When you get to 17, you like kick the door open and you hear a yeah! And
yes, I knew it.
You see a werewolf in priest robes get flung to the wall, and where the werewolf was is some half-eaten candy with 4 untouched pieces.
Yay!
Nice.
Trick or treat.
Biff completely ignores the werewolf, bends down to pick up the pieces, and then turns around and closes the door.
yes, good, perfect.
One
Chocolate's
very
bad for dogs anyway.
One very important question. Did you also take the half-eaten pieces or only take the whole pieces?
There's probably some half-eaten pieces in there. She just kind of grabbed a handful of whatever was there.
Fair enough. All right.
Quick question.
That's...
Do you open the door back up again after you've already walked out and yell trick or treat and then close the door and walk off again?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Very
absolutely. Good. The ancient rituals must be maintained.
Exactly.
Naturally.
You see like a camera angle that's like through the clear part of the glass that Dr. Weird looked through before, and like the door shuts for the second time and you see the werewolf sort of like dizzily look up and then like nod and then like immediately flump back like he understands. He gets it.
Good.
Since the trick or treat happened, nothing bad is going to happen to you guys. He gets it.
He might have like come back for revenge if we didn't say it, but
Yeah, totally.
we're covered.
Like literally. Like actually, I was totally planning on him coming back.
Holy shit.
But you did the trick or treat, so all is good.
Awesome.
All right. 2 places left before the castle. Once again,
castle!
lightning strike, black impression of the castle.
Cocoon.
Very good.
The castle.
But the next place over isn't actually a house or a shop. It is the cemetery.
Graveyard time.
I'm still just waiting for the point of like, what is a man? Puny little pile of secrets.
Good.
Still just waiting for that.
Miserable little pile
was
of
it.
candies.
Oh my god.
I'm still just waiting. But anyway, graveyard time.
Graveyard smash.
I guess
Yeah.
do we knock on the gravestones or...
I mean, graveyards have like gates, don't they?
is there a mausoleum?
So you know what? Here's the thing. So you guys come up to the graveyard. You do see there is a fence. However, half of the graveyard gate is like completely off its hinges. And sitting to like block that part of the gate is just a little black dog. And it's like tail is wagging so happy.
Oh, is it grim?
This is not an angry dog. This is a dog that's like, friends? Friends?
Friends?
Pupper.
It's a puppy. I know. Liz reminded me that in the House on the Hill thing, that I said that Frankie really didn't like dogs. I have changed my mind because I love Churchyard Grims, and I think that Frankie would too. So Frankie is going to
Frankie
go.
definitely likes them in this AU.
Yes, yes. So whether or not that's canon.
Consider.
The jury's
Also
still out on
consider-
whether it's canon.
Here's the
They're
thing.
both AU.
Consider. I do not like dogs. You knew this. Do not bring dogs to me. Picture of a Churchyard Grim. Okay, I will make an exception because he seems very polite.
Yes, yes,
Fair.
100%. So I am. Frankie is going to roll animal handling. Why is animal handling a wisdom-based skill? That's
'Cause
10.
you're
It's
reading
fine.
the animal.
Oh, you know
It's like
what? I
insight
want
of the
to.
animal.
You're
Common
reading
sense.
body language.
Yeah, I'm
Jay,
going
go
to
ahead
use.
and roll.
I'm going to use one because I have an advantage, so I'm going to roll again.
Yeah, it's undead.
It's worse.
It bites your hand off. Your hoof off.
I
Whichever
don't-
one.
What?
No, come
know
on. A
what?
10 isn't worth getting bit. It just ignores me and my feelings are hurt.
You know what? For the realization, character growth, or just more understanding of the character, sometimes the two are indistinguishable, I'll give you an inspiration point, and you do not have to use it here, but if you would like to use it here, it'll be a natural 20 on animal handling.
Question, did we pick up Thing after we were done with the werewolf
Oh, yeah,
church?
yeah. I didn't say so,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I
totally.
assume, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, I want to reassure you. I'm not going to, like, punitively punish you guys. I forgot to. Hand is with you.
But yeah, no, it's like Frankie is very, very sad about not being able to be friendly with the dog.
That is A-okay. Hold on to that inspiration point for later, because, again, I'm just giving that to you. That's very good. Puppy, I think? Yeah, I guess that's how I want to play this. Because, Frankie, it seems like the church grim isn't ignoring you. It's, like, bouncing up onto you and, like, bark, bark, bark. But, like, it's not looking you in the eye. And then you sort of, like, look to your side, and the hand is, like, stuck up like a cat, like, no!
Frankie, don't you have speak with
Like-
animals?
Oh, no, I do! I have Speak with Animals! I do! I have that! I want to cast Speak with Animals and, just be like, oh, hello. Oh, no, it's like, no, don't worry. What's going on here? Just like...
Play!
Just
Chase,
play,
yes. It's so good to chase. Listen, it's so good to chase. Chase. Play.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because that's just very good.
Yeah, that's how dogs are.
It's just how dogs are.
All right, I'll stop interrupting you so that you can say what you want to say. Just know that that's like the undercurrent until you can convince the dog to listen to you.
Yeah, no, I am going to. Is this again just sort of like no? This is there are other things to chase. I know this one's very good to chase, but there are other things to chase. I'm sure around here. And if you want, we can play fetch later if you like. But and you just go to fetch. Yeah,
And the dog sort of like spins around and then sits, still unfortunately blocking the route to the graveyard. But it's like fetch.
Yeah. Frankie is, I was going to try and roll persuasion to get the dog to let us pass, but no, Frankie's just going to pick up a branch from the ground and throw it.
Branch no good. And the dog seems like sort of disappointed in you. It's like, Branch no good. Branch wasn't alive. Gotta chase alive, or was alive. Gotta have fun. Chase. Like the hand. And you see its gaze like drift back to your shoulder.
Oh, I'm just trying to have a think, because I don't think that Frankie actually has anything useful here, because
Well, none of the rest of us can understand what the dog is saying, so...
Yeah, we can't understand. I do have something that Tidbit may be able to help with, but yeah, you
oh
do
yeah,
gotta
no,
pass
I
it
just
on.
like look over. It's like, does anybody happen to have, say, a very fast mouse on their person, or a particularly lively squirrel, anything like that?
Squirrel. And the dog is sort of like just frozen in place, but like staring around like,
I can't do that. I can do inanimate objects.
Oh no, damn.
Oh,
Now, if it's moving, is it close enough to alive?
that sure seems like something you could roll persuasion on.
Biff doesn't know any of this.
I mean, the other thing is, like, I don't have anything alive, but it might like to gnaw on this for a bit, and he pulls up his hand and conjures out of thin air a bone. It is
magical.
Now, I will say, it is visibly magical. It does glow a little bit, and it is going to vanish after an hour.
This is a dog, though, that we're talking about,
But
not high
this-
on the wisdom.
No, but this is a nice juicy looking bone.
Like, oh, that
Dog's
will do.
immediately locked on off of the hand and onto the bone. It's like bone, throw, fetch, bone.
I think.
Oh, because
Tidbit's also got speak with animals. So like, all right. So if I give you this, you'll let us through.
And you see the dog consider, and they're like, if you harm those that reside within the graveyard, you shall face a fate worse than death. But if you don't harm them, then yes, bone.
Right, I'll keep that in mind. Throws it.
I like this dog.
The grim, I will mention, for those that have speak with animals, it did literally say "ruh, ruh, 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 ruh," as it ran after the bone. It did not say another word.
Excellent.
And you guys now have permitted entry into the graveyard.
Nice.
Excellent. Cool.
I did in my head have an image of Miss Foam like almost going to run after the bone too.
Just like, because she was like, oh, I can be an animal too, but clearly the doctor has it. So the animal instinct just kicked in and she just looked at the bone like, ooh, it's fine.
It's very tempting.
It's a good bone. It's a good looking bone.
I think like Tidbit kind of just like looks at Miss Foam for a second and just like, if you wanted one, and like pulls a second one out of thin air. You can have this one, I guess.
Oh god, she shifts her body so the horse mouth is the one.
Yes.
That's like,
Good.
yeah.
Yes.
Insert into horse mouth.
Yep. Like Tidbit is like does not want to go, like very much holding the bone by the very, very end while handing it over.
I'm just imagining like just the, like big square Felix Colgrave teeth, just like
Chomp.
He's like,
Coming out of the horse head, not the foam mouth.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Like fair enough.
Amazing.
Chomp.
All right,
Oh, I love
so
this
you
party.
guys look around the graveyard.
Oh, yeah.
And pardon my French, but it seems pretty dead around here.
Hey! Disinspiration
Hey.
point for the DM.
You can't hurt me. I'm immortal.
For now.
Yeah, the moment that Kai's back in charge, I am no longer immortal. But right now, I can kill you guys.
Uh-huh.
So what would we do, like, would it be investigation, perception, which one? Because, again, we're just sort of, like, looking for place for candy, presumably.
I'll say
Tidbit's just
You know
gonna
what?
knock on one of the gravestones.
without rolling.
Without rolling, just knock on one of the
Respectfully.
gravestones. Yeah, like, excuse me, trick or treat.
All right, you did invoke the ancient words. You see slowly the dirt start to shift. The hands of a skeleton start crawling up, deposit a single piece of candy, and then crawl back into their rest.
Thank you.
Seeing Tidbit do that, I think we all do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Biff is
Question.
going to be very careful about it.
Very careful. No knocking over gravestones or anything like that. Very, very polite.
Yes.
We appreciate that. Question: do you try the same gravestone or different gravestones?
Nearest
Ooh.
gravestone to her. So it's probably a different one.
Yeah.
All right. If everybody's going for different gravestones, just repeat the description that I had earlier for each and every one. If you tried to do the same one, it probably would have gotten a little pissed because, like, greedy. But,
Yeah.
like, since you all chose different ones, one piece of candy is dispensed to all of you guys.
Hooray!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
We were all very polite. We did not afford the woman in the woman's wall the same courtesy.
That's because Biff took the lead.
Yeah, fair. All
Maybe
right.
she needs a guard dog.
And with that, Mock, I know I described an extra thing. I just realized that I miscounted twice, which actually means the first time I counted correctly, and then the second time I miscounted. So actually, the only thing that's left is the castle. Dark overshadow of the castle as
I
thunder
mean-
cracks.
The castle does fit the description of, and this is what I wrote, 7-house, parentheses, it's fine, with a little smiley face.
Oh, I did the side face too.
Oh, same notes.
House, smiley face.
For anybody who does remember that I described an extra house, I'll just say that the house's lights, while they were moving on, turned off. So, like, whatever the fuck
And then
is
the
wrong
house
with that place,
disappeared.
it's not their problem.
No.
No, the lights turned off, and then the house disappeared in the style of that one gif where the guy does like a peace sign and he fades out.
Just pieces out.
Saw the party coming through, and it was like, you know what? I'm too spooky for that. I'm out.
Amazing.
So,
All right. So you guys, with coming to the graveyard, which is closest to the castle.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Anyway, you guys move up and start climbing up the castle. And do you have any banter while you're going up, or shall we just meet up at the top?
No, she's just chewing on the bone still.
Like, I'm gonna make a request as a player. Can we please skip to the top, because I am starting to fall asleep.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds perfect.
Having
So-
a great time. I do want to establish I'm having a great time. This is fucking delightful. I'm also aware I'm low on spoons.
Yeah. We're going to. So this is the final bit.
Yeah, don't worry. This is the final bit. You guys come up to the castle, to its great big doors. Very important question. Do you guys push the doors open and come in? Or do you guys do the traditional trick-or-treat?
I mean, traditional, right?
Traditional.
Yeah.
But also Biff.
No.
Listen, at the lady's house, we tried the traditional route and no one answered. So then, you move on to different methods.
Yeah,
But,
we do.
we
And
can start with the
we are being-
traditional
we are
knock-knock
polite.
trick-or-treat.
We are polite
So-
candy thieves.
So you move to
It's a
knock.
strong word.
We're requesting.
Very firmly.
Endearing.
Requesting very firmly while also threatening if they don't comply. Same difference.
That's how trick-or-treating works.
So, whoever starts to knock on the door, your hand starts to come down, and the door starts creaking open so that your first knock misses. And then you continue knocking on the door as the door continues creaking open. And there is no response. You now have an open door, almost an invitation, but no one comes to greet you.
Like,
Trick-or-treat.
go ahead.
Yes.
Again, no response.
Like we have your candy, I suppose. We've come to find Sugi and we come to find Dr. Boffin and also Sugi, I suppose. Nope. Okay.
Perception for me.
I'm going to just walk in.
Would you prefer to forsake the perception, or do you want to? roll
For sake perception, I'm dreadful at it.
Yeah.
I can roll perception because she's decent plus guidance.
Biff has no modifier. I will roll. It's a 15.
That's a 10. You did better.
Nice.
All right, so everybody starts walking in, but Biff is the only one that hears light music coming from one of the areas. It sounds like it's coming from a record player because it just has that sort of like slightly tinny, scratchy sound. It seems like it's playing classical music, and it is coming from like down the hallway directly forward from where you're going.
Oh, that
I
was
think
fun.
Biff starts to kind of like dance and do a little shuffle.
Very
While
good.
walking.
Yeah.
Yes.
We follow
Yo, you
Biff.
guys hear that?
I don't hear anything.
That's music.
Could you?
I love
Yo, I
music.
like music.
I think the music may be an indication of where we're meant to be headed next in this whole debacle. Lead the
Where
way,
there's
Miss
music,
Hifley.
there's a party, and where there's a party, there's snacks.
I see. Flashes back to the student party with the beer pong and snacks and beer and alcohol. Yes.
It's technically not beer, it's XXX.
It's XXX. Excuse
Root
me.
beer.
Root beer. Yeah.
It's fine.
So you guys, we see a shot of Biff dancing along, leading the rest of the party, and then we see another shot where like Frankie and Miss Foam are also dancing, and then we see another shot where everybody can hear, but Dr. Weird is still not dancing. And then we come to another set of grand doors, and there are other hallways leading off, but let's be real, those are not important ones. The animators didn't animate anything with those doors,
Nah.
except for the big doors.
Yeah.
Kill Bill sirens.
We knock on the. Frankie knocks on the door very quickly before Biff gets any ideas.
Frankie barely gets one knock in before the doors spring open, and you hear, that is very interesting, because you see, on a physical level, naturally, lightning is already interesting. It's a physical level. Oh, I love telling Biff about this. And you guys see, first of all, an audience hall. Congratulations, you've solved my puzzle.
Hooray!
But second of all, along the rolled out red carpet that leads to both upwards and to the side, all leads to like a stage that has like 2 thrones. In front of said stage, you see mostly turned away from you towards the stage at like an angle. You see Dr. Boffin in his costume, tied to a chair, delightfully explaining something about the metaphysical properties of lightning. And on the other side, facing towards you guys, you see an absolutely despondent Sugi with a sock stuffed in his mouth.
I love that Sugi's the one that wound up with a sock and not Boffin.
Oh, totally. And
But one
as
of them
you look,
is rude.
Yeah, one of them's rude.
That is true. That is true.
One of them just wants to tell you about his research.
I do think, yeah.
and
Tidbit is going to just immediately, as soon as they see them, just go, Sir, may I ask why you haven't teleported yourself out of there yet? Well, I may have used it up. Yes. Been doing trick-or-treating, so... Okay, let's... What are we meant to do here? What's the next step?
the lights on the stage suddenly turn on, and the throne, the 2 pairs of thrones that you would have sworn were empty, reveal instead 2 gorgeous beyond belief characters. One is a short little man, very portly. When I say gorgeous, I mean not in a stereotypical way. He has a thin little mustache, and his black hair comes up in a sharp wave, and his smile is far too big for his face, but is completely enthused in that way that, like, someone who's, like, delighted to hear something is. It's, like, not a pretty smile. It's it's a goofy smile. And on the other side...
Slightly manic.
Yeah, slightly manic, exactly. On the other side, you see the diviner. And as if in one, both the diviner and the manic man put their hands up to their mouths and go, and the woman goes, "Look, my dear, they did come bringing their promise, just as I said they would." And the man goes, "Of course, my dear, I knew they would. How could I not trust you?" And he goes, up the arm of the woman. And you guys know that, like, one post that's like the script of the Addams Family, but, like, one part is edited out to say these 2 are constantly going at each other, and if you don't have this energy, I'm walking, but I've already spent the money.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but it's
I'll link you later.
I swear, I will link you after we're done, but it's hilarious. That is the energy these 2 have with you. You get the feeling that when they're not pranking mere mortals, they are constantly going at it. And they say, "Well, hello, my dears, and thank you
Hi.
for playing our little game." Yes?
No, you just said hi.
Oh, hello, dear. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you properly. I suppose introductions are in order. I am Morgan Stevens. And the man steps forward and says, "And I am Gomezano Stevens."
Stevens.
The name is spelled Stevenns, but it's not properly pronounced if you don't pronounce both ends, which is
Yeah.
And they say, you must understand, we weren't here to spirit away your friends. They sort of got spirited away with us in a manner. And Dr. Buffin goes, it was simply fascinating. I had already used up my teleportation spell, but the thing that they were setting up seemed so interesting. I just couldn't help myself. I'm sorry, Weird. I know I'm butchering his accent. I do
No, it's
apologize.
okay.
His accent's already butchered.
So it's fine.
Like a remix.
And both of them, I will mention, do not seem bored of Dr. Boffin. They seem delighted by his lecture.
Of course
they seem like
they
they're
are!
having fun.
They're
They're
so
like,
interesting.
like Boffin
They're
and the
both like-
Stevens would have a great time, to be honest.
Oh god.
you see the man sort of like lay against the woman and like put a hand to his head like he's fainting, and he says, for you see, we are toon vampires, but we have no desire to wish ill upon another. And Morrigan stands up straight and sort of like props Gomezano back up and says, so instead we figured out a way to, just figure out the essential part of what the toon vampire needs, and it turns out it was sugar, glucose. And Gomezano says, something you find in large amounts in. And they both say, well, candy. And they both like make the same gesture towards each other. They're like in perfect mimicry, except when they're doing like different poses. And they're like, although we had no real intention to do harm to your friends, if the night went on and we didn't have anything, we've already collected our due from our community, I'm afraid. You know how it is. But we might have had to drain the human one of all of his blood. But since you were able to provide a second share, we should have enough to last us, right up until next year. So, give us the candy, and your friends go free.
Yep, sure, fine.
I did.
Didn't want it anyway. So, Tidbit does not have that much candy, but he did, because he does have like the least out of everyone, but he will just gladly hand it over and just kind of like, yeah, go, and then he'll just immediately hand it over, then immediately go straight to Boffin to try starting untying him.
All right, we'll get back to you. What about the rest of you two?
Yeah, Frankie is entirely fine with this. Like, this appears to be, that's the rules of the game. Cool. she is fine with this.
Miss Firm also is fine with this. She scuttles over and deposits, I think, 6 candy to the two, but she is not moving. She got her card. The beast has to sit on the throne.
We'll get back to you too. Biff, my dear.
Yeah.
Biff. Come on now.
But I went around and collected it all myself.
You can have some of mine back home.
Yes, you did make all of that effort to go through. And Gomezano, like, looks pityingly at Morrigan. And Morrigan goes, I suppose, since apple doesn't naturally work within it, and we would have to blend it down anyway. And slowly Morrigan floats from the stage over to Biff, and among the candy, she points, without claiming, the candied apple and says, not only may you have this, but you did provide us a service, so we are planning to reward you with gold, just as long as you give the rest of the candy to us.
Frankie, can I really have the candy you have back at your house?
Yes, we can work out the details of exactly how much later. You are going to do something?
I will mention there is one person in here who did get quite a bit of candy and probably led everybody into this mess, who is currently gagged and might be unable to squirrel out of a bargain made if asked directly and unable to give a verbal answer.
Now I have a question. Is this the Biff's candy that she got here, or is it all of Biff's candy for the night?
Exclusively the candy that was gotten in Queerovia. All the rest of Biff's candy is safe at Frankie's house.
Okay.
And they are offering the candy apple.
I think Biff, like, we probably get like a sequence where it's like she's sweating and she's looking from one to the other to the candy, back over to Sugi, to the rest of the group. she's like, yeah, okay.
Oh, Francis, very.
Very good. Immediately the candy is swiped out of your hands. No take backsies.
Okay.
And yes?
No, I was just going to say, if we've got time for just like one last thing before we end the game, then yes, you suggest we just want to bully Sugi for a moment.
I mean, yeah, that's also a fucking delight.
Frankie is just going to sort of walk over it and just be like, "Hello, darling. You have messed with my schedule. I had everything planned out. Did you have a nice time? Did you? Got lots of, I don't know, sugary treats, perhaps?
He's shaking his head.
Oh, that's so good to know. Does he, like, visibly have, like, a bag of the stuff?
Now, that is very interesting, because he was... well, I hate to say it, be mean, but he was boasting about it earlier, about having almost the biggest bag of candy.
Oh, was he?
I don't know. He's obviously been collecting it for a while now, but
Have you? Oh.
There's no way he had more candy than me.
But yeah, if Sugi still just, like, has that on him.
So here's the thing. I did say that both Sugi and Boffin were sitting on chairs. There is a bag underneath his chair.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. Do you bother to take the gag out, or do you...
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Of course not.
No, absolutely not. I'm not gonna let him yell. it's like, oh, what is this? Oh, well, you are the one who got us into this mess in the first place, and may I remind you, messed with my scheduling. So, Mr. and Mrs. Stevens, here as a token of our appreciation for you allowing us to play such a delightful treasure hunt, may I present you with this? And she holds up Suki's pack of candy to them.
Amazing.
Sugi's like straining in his chair, but clearly... I will mention, Dr. Weird, you've already gotten Boffin out of his thing, but clearly Tsugi has already tried like 7 times to slip out of his chair, so he is like bolted down.
Amazing.
And the Stevens were like, "Are you sure, my dear? That would certainly increase the gold reward. Oh, but are you truly willing to part with such candy the rest of the party?" And they're clearly looking at Dr. Weird and Biff and Frankie and
Frankie's
Ms.
standing
Foam.
directly in front of Sugi, like blocking any kind of like eye line.
Oh
who
my
is
God.
still like screaming behind his gag, but he can't do jack shit. Come on.
I mean, listen, Biff doesn't really care about Sugi's candy. She's just got to get her own. She's getting what's hers.
Tidbit's
And
just gonna
Steven-
shrug.
The Stevens are like, "Candy preserves so well. We could be fit for years even with this gift. All right, my dears, we accept."
Wonderful.
And they both take the bag in addition to the proffered candy between them. You see now that the camera refocuses, in between the throne, there is already a decent sack of candy. And they pour it in and like throw on Sugi the bag, who's like visibly like as deflated as he can be. And this is once again with his weirdly toony torso, so he's like puddled even though his face is still pretty boy toon.
He's
It's
a
very
popped
gross.
balloon.
Basically.
Snail, I have issues, but I will not be stating them.
Amazing.
Fuck you.
Kai has sworn to secrecy, and I'm going to make them regret it for years, probably.
Yeah.
I am so sorry, but also know that I love you.
Fuck you.
And with that, they say there is one more thing in addition that gives you a bonus. And the hand that has been like on Frankie's shoulder finally scuttles down, and they were like, we have been trying to find this deer for several weeks, and we couldn't ever prove where exactly he was, so we couldn't really find him. Even our spells couldn't locate him. So for this, yes, I think you will have quite a hearty reward indeed.
Oh, thank you. It was the merchant, by the way. She has absolutely no compunction about is saying like.
Damn.
Ran out, I
The
see.
merchant, they say in unison.
Fucking snitch.
Yeah.
And you see for the briefest of moments, like, their faces are turned towards each other, but the eye that is on the other side of the face flashes red while the rest of their body goes completely black. And then they're back to normal, and they're like, interesting. So not only have you ensured that this won't ever happen again, you've also sicked 2 toonish vampires upon this man. So
What can I say? Frankie's a snitch and a teacher's pet.
This
I love
is
her.
never gonna happen again. And the hand is like tossling I'm trying to make sure I say his name right. Gomezano's hair, and is like, this hand is not forced upon this family. This hand has been adopted by this family. And they love
Good.
him.
I'm happy
like-
for them.
Listen, since dimensions are weird, when you come back to your home, you might not exactly forget us, but, well, here. And to you, Frankie, you get a card that on one side is your iconography,
Yay!
and on the other side has a scripted, very fancy, to the point that it's really hard to decipher, business card
Ooh.
that is signed Stevens, and the very and like in the margins of the card has the very complicated way you like shorthand notate how exactly to transform how exactly to teleport to a specific plane.
Ooh.
Amazing.
But it's so hard to understand. It would probably take some really unique circumstances to get it outside of a gag game.
Mm.
So, if Kai ever decides to give us permission to use that, that's fine. But otherwise, this is for gag games. But you can stay in the same continuity.
Amazing.
Perfect.
And they hand the card over. None of the others were promised cards, so those
That's
are gone to the test of time. And they're like, when you go back to the apartment, you will find everything that we can give in your hands. And then they sort of like look at Sugi because Frankie has moved at this point, and they're sort of like, so Sugi's getting jack shit. And then they sort of like do a mirrored quick move of the hands, and suddenly all of you guys are back in the apartment, sitting on the sofa, remote in Frankie's hand, with the first murder movie queued up, and the clock strikes movie time as if nothing in the schedule had been interrupted.
Hey.
Oh,
Thank
goodness.
you all.
These
for
pits
coming.
have suck.
I am
Thank
just
you all for coming to my Curse of Strahd bootleg of a bootleg of a bootleg.
This is
Because-
delightful.
It was very, very good, Snail. Thank you so much.
I butchered this and I love it. It's very happy and I might be running it for the rest of my life.
It's so good and fun, and I love it.
It was delightful.
I'm just
Snail.
imagining when everybody's back in Tidbit is just like, right, okay, we're all back, and immediately passes the fuck out.
Yeah, he's done. He had, like, it wasn't even adrenaline, it was just spite keeping him going through that last bit. It's like, right, well, you guys enjoy your movies.
He just switches off out like a light.
He's been awake for too many hours.
Okay, so now, first off, you are fucking a delight. This
Yes,
really
That was fun. That was
Yes.
real good.
2, may I be very selfish and ask for a post-credit scene?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to see it, please.
Not only may you be selfish, but I actually insist, as in I will not stop the recording until it is complete.
So when it cuts to everybody watching the movie as it is movie time and Boffin passes out, I like to think the camera's kind of shocked. Like, oh yeah, everybody's here. But then it's kind of framed like, is that figure sure is green? When the credits start rolling, and the characters look to their side, it's just the horse head topiary. It's not, Miss Foam is not attached to
God.
it. This credit scene, like Wonder Over Yonder sort of style, it's in the throne room with the two of them, and they're very happy to have this shenanigans. And Miss Foam is just in the dead center between the two of them, just sitting there. She's been sitting there the entire scene.
God.
Like, as they've been talking, she's just been sitting there, and she's been looking between the divinator and the husband, and she just looks at the husband and goes, "Little man, forfeit your seat."
And both of them sort of make a theatrical overcompensate. Like, no, they both make like a exaggerated anticipation. That's the animation term. And then they both sit down and the lights click off.
Oh shit! Oh no, is she dead?
Oh, yeah.
No,
No,
she's teleported.
no, Miss Foam's dead.
They give her the moment of their seats hitting the throne, and then they're immediately teleported to the apartment.
No,
Oh.
Miss Foam's dead. That's how this Halloween episode ends. Miss Foam's just fucking
No,
dead.
I think Miss Foam deserves to sit on the throne. I think Miss Foam deserves this.
Oh, wait! I completely misread that. Miss Foam wants to sit on the throne?
Yeah,
Yes.
she said she's asked him to forfeit your seat. She wants the throne.
Okay. The videotape rewinds and there's sort of like there's like slammed on the paused moment. Animators misunderstood, send previous scene to gag reel, which didn't happen because it happened in front of you. And once again we see Gomezano and Morrigan, and Gomezano is like, "Well, very well, there's a fine other throne that I can sit on."
Oh
And-
god.
Oh, God.
So here's the thing, he does move over and sit on Morrigan's lap in a way that I don't know how you would animate this, but does imply, yes, he gets pegged.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
God.
Good animators can figure that out.
No, they're trans
that's-
for trans. That's why.
Trans for trans.
Beautiful, beautiful, amazing, bravo.
And
Miss Foam, you have made a choice.
Yeah, now she has her seat.
I like the idea that you've got like these ridiculous cartoony smooching noises off to the side, and it's just like a dead-on like focus of Ms. Foam, who's just like looking directly at the camera, and then you know what, that sort of like shrinking sort of pinhole,
Yeah.
like Looney Tunes
yeah,
closing,
yeah.
is closes on Miss Foam, and then just whoop.
Jay, thank you. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Great
Okay.
job, everyone.
And then you see a hand go through where the hole is, and everything pulls out, and you see Tsugi beraggled, sock finally out of his mouth. It's clearly like daylight coming through the walls. And he's like, listen, all I wanted was a husband and wife who are wildly rumored to be vampires. Invite me up to their gorgeous castle, which has fallen into disrepair, serve me a beautiful meal that they barely pick at, sipping at glasses of drywood wine as they take turns complimenting me borderline salaciously while shooting each other conspiratorial looks that they don't know how to interpret until one of them insists it's getting too late and going back home alone is impossible even with Dr. Boffin, so we simply have to spin the light. And then clearly the part they didn't understand is I'm supposed to get railed.
But I was just there for the conversation. Okay, we have to end the game now.
Yes,
we gotta keep going.
I swear that was the last thing.
good.
We are done.
I'm saying
Say
goodbye
bye,
now.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.